drop off here or there. I know, but in my feelings, Rocket might be jumping up in priority as well with all those changes. But we're already into it here. We're getting hot and heavy in our first best of 5 of the day. 100 Thieves versus Les Aimants, and we already have a couple likely bans. The triple res comp going to be taken off the table immediately there by 100 Thieves. We also see that Wolverine ban.
Yeah, sometimes 100 Thieves leaves the res comp on the table, but there's some respect shown here for the Magnets. They don't want anything to do with that. And then they're going with the Wolverine ban. Talk to a lot of the teams. They typically are looking for, you want the Hella ban, you want the Groot. If those aren't banned, you can go with Bucky and Wolverine. And then if not that, a little bit of triple res. And so right now it's looking like plenty of Hella on the table. And that's what we've seen, right? Those solo 1v1 Hella matchups. We've seen 100 Thieves a lot. That's Delina. Who's the Hella hand for Magnets?
So it's either going to have to be between Jabori and Tico, but the thing I love, and kind of going back a little bit more between what we've seen in the last day we cast it, we had so many just 1v1 narrative building between teams, and I want to see if we get a little bit more of that today at least.
Yeah, no, without question, man. Luna getting banned out the rip too. That means obviously, you know, trying to shut down a little bit of the Namor love. And we saw a lot of Fate of Both Worlds, a lot of dancing going on. And we've got the Loki ban as well.
It's Smash. Let's go.
You love to see it. Smash being the Hella Delina. There's our matchup there. And hey, Rocky Raccoon, this will be the last that we see of him in his current state. The 40% damage. The changes were massive, but he's still getting plenty of love right now in Season 1.
I still think he's going to be so much more next level next time. I know you lose the damage percentage, but the survivability is going to bring us actually insane. But in this iteration, in this one, it is all about that damage. And it's all about timing, I feel like. And that's where you see some of the best rockets come through. I know SJP very, very skilled on that, but it's more so about trying to figure out those big timings when that damage needs to be front-loaded.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys are just now joining in and seeing these teams, just a quick refresher. Terra is going to be kind of their flex role of duelist on 100 Thieves, whereas you have Delina again on that Hella. TTK, big on Doctor Strange and Magneto. Vinny has been playing Groot since Alpha. You know, a lot of people, they like to play things when they're hot, when they're in the meta. Well, Vinny's been the Groot guy for a long time, which makes him excel at the role. And with Magnets here, we've got a very similar comp. And by similar, I mean everything. It's going to be the same here because these are the meta heroes. These people are playing for it all. For the glory, they're going to bring their best.
I can't wait. This is leading up to Championship Sunday, but a lot riding on the line for these teams as we go into here. It is going to be a situation where they need to find a lot of spacing with Chuckle, as well as getting up to the point as quick as possible. This choke point is one of the most deadly in the game.
Yeah, we see a lot of people typically go with Strange to open things up here just because you're able to get that first free push, even though it's predictable. But they're going straight down Main Street. I love that. They're showing no fear against what is known as the best team in North America of 100 Thieves. And my gosh, the disrespect right away. But hey, I'm all for it. Smash with the off angle here, trying to get some early action and get an early poke. And him and Delena are already going head to head. And Terra, though, trying to take him down. But Smash trades with Terra for a huge pick.
They got it. They established a beachhead over here, and the defense is actually really, really crucial here. Oh, they get over the wall. Vinny's still alive. Wow.
Wow, I'm already impressed with the immediate pick. They're having to adjust immediately, and now we do have the Invisible Boundary going up to give him a little bit of protection, and the Arm Dangerous comes out. Cracking impact, not going to make an impact. Obviously, plenty of sustain there, and even though they got the early pick, I would say 100 Thieves is happy with that trade and the waste of the ultimate, but Chuckles doesn't care, taking down Vinny and trading TTK. This is going to be up to him to get some splash, and nothing from it.
He's still got the strangling prison as well. He can still pull the trigger on that. He's being so reserved. Right? Look at Delena. Look at Delena.
Wow. Okay, we have Cyborg now going in. The point is taken, and that is going to be the reset right there. And all it takes is that one elimination that Smash was able to secure, and not on just somebody, but on Terra. That's going to slow them down massively as they look to make their space here, because this is a tough little choke point, and they want to get plenty of room.
Yeah, getting as much preemptive push here on this map is so important. Once you get out to the open space, it definitely feels a little bit better, but these choke points with the extra high ground given to both sides is so difficult to manage. You see Les Aimants trying to use that here as well to stop the defensive push.
Look at this interesting little placement of fights that going on right now, and even with the Goddess of Death right above them, Smash is in their face. They were able to trade, but Smash does escape with the important rocket elimination and Terra going down, but Vinny evening the odds here. But that was a good initial push in a very awkward place to have that battle.
I actually kind of like it. You throw them a random card, see what their response is going to be. Obviously, a very strong response from 100 Thieves there, but the push has been stalled a bit in this side for Les Aimants. They're going to try a repush now. They do have that invisible boundary.
Yeah, Vinny's going to go. We're going to get the combo, right? They typically like to line up Vinny with Terra and get the Kraken impact into the imprisonment. But we do have the meteor going down from sideboard. Can he connect? No, it misses. And there, Vinny was unable to get much from his imprisonment either with Terra. So we have a trade of ultimates, very impactful ones that weren't able to get the eliminations. Both invisible boundaries out. This is coming down to grit, fight, determination.
Yeah, I mean, this whole quarter is just an absolute fisticuffs. We do get a nice KO there from Smash, and they caught them out. They're actually taking and pulling apart the pieces of 100 Thieves. Vinny is on the retreat. He's thrown up the white flag, and it's all the push from Les Aimants.
Well, okay, Smash, it's good to meet you, my man. Two important picks back-to-back here. Now, luckily, they did have the rock for the quick BRB on that Winter Soldier, and they have a small reset happening. Both teams going to look to take a breather here for a moment as they're about to be heading into the next bit of battle. We do have Skyer here coming with the invisible boundary any moment. Vinny and Terra back online, though. Already just used the combo. Here it is. Vinny's going out with it. The Kraken impact going down, but Smash immediately takes down Terra from the Kraken impact.
And that's one of the best Buckies in town, and we see him gone off the table there. Nice little repush, and they are gonna get that next point. Now we're outside. Now this changes the approach that you have to have when you're coming into this one. I need Deletta to get some picks here.
This is an amazing push right now from the Magnets. And I've got to say, you often see the counter with the invisible boundary, but how about the instant elimination on that Bucky with Kraken impact? We have not seen a lot of that, especially with Terra, you know, at the arm of him. But my goodness, what a way to answer. And 100 Thieves has to take a breather. They've been here before. We saw this last week with, I believe, Flashfire against them. So this has been fun.
This has been really fun. They're getting pushed to the pedal here. And now you actually have this preemptive, aggressive stance with that Meteor of M. Here comes the Goddess of Death trying to get some AoE damage down. Gets one KO. And you're able to get a little bit of defense here from Deletta, who's found this flank, but gets immediately picked.
Yeah, this was an important reset, and luckily they did have the spawn right there, a little bit of a closer advantage, but huge eliminations there from Delena, and even SJP get a part of that on the elimination. And if we look, kind of locked and loaded, 100 Thieves, they do have their ults, but so far we have not seen much impact outside of that Delena, Goddess of Death, with their ultimate usage. So they are having 2 minutes, 56 seconds. This is a good place to hold up, though. They have plenty of momentum, spawns right there. They've got to win this.
And Delena has some great angles to utilize up here. Look at Smash and him. They just have a little bit of snipe off here as well. See if they can actually get a little bit of pressure up there, because it's so difficult when the initial fighting kicks off to find that angle. It does look like Chuckle wants to set up for Les Aimants. They want to move forward. Smash is gone for a little bit of a flank here.
Wow, what a good spot there. Tico and Smash trading with the duelist. This is going to be it for 100 Thieves right off the bat, because they also have plenty to follow up with. Goddess' Death going up for Smash there. They've already used the imprisonment. Tico, though, can follow up with the Kraken impact. I don't even know if they'll need to. 100 Thieves quickly has to reset. We might even get a Captain America to try to stall. They have just enough time, though, to get their team comp ready all together for one last effort. It's ticking. There's only a few left in their minutes. Terra goes down with the Kraken.
They might actually be able to push this as when a Strangling Prison comes in from Vinny. Look at his damage done. A couple KOs coming in from him as well. They're trying to get this final push, but it looks like Les Aimants will be rebuffed.
Wow, I'm honestly shocked with just a meteor to spare. We are all Groot as Vinny goes in and makes the massive difference there. But it seems like it was overtime. Nope, there's a minute and 40 seconds. Plenty of time to reset, and 100 Thieves had to use a lot in the tank in the vault to go ahead and try to hold that line. Well worth it. That makes the world a difference here. And if we look, there's not much for defense. Harvey's far away from his invisible boundary, and we've got both the meteor and damage amplifier. This is going to be a hard hold.
This always feels like the tricky point, because you have to find a crack in the armor. You have to find an engage, but it needs to all happen at the same time. You are getting these old stacked, but you're still pretty decently set up for them. They need to get the Strangling Prison back up, the invisible boundary. It could be the difference maker in this final push.
Yeah, Smash trying to take that angle again and try to get an important pick. We have up there the beautiful placement of Delena, but Smash is going right to the battle, right to the forefront, takes down Delena on the trade. We saw this last week from Delena, a little slow off the starting line. and right away, Delina's being brought back by SJP, but they have everything in their arsenal. Cyber is trading with Terra. Right now, the dual flinch is having no impact for 100 Thieves outside of Desperation.
Yeah.
This could be it.
Delena about to get, oh, he almost had Goddess's death and he goes down. Look at this play right now for Tabori.
Look at this Rocket just saying, hey, I don't even need the season 2 love. I'm going to just rock on Rocket. That was a dominant offensive effort there from Magnets and exactly what you want to see to open up this upper bracket. My goodness, we saw this last week a little bit, Mazel, where the duelists a little bit slow off the line for 100 Thieves, and then what did they do? They locked it in. It was Boom Crew, right? So now they've got to just do the same thing here and show what they have on the offensive side.
I remember you were talking about during that was like, this might be one of the only times I've seen 100 Thieves get pushed to 3, and we just saw it yet again. So the first game's definitely a little bit of a crux for 100 Thieves to fix up on, but really have to give some praises over to Les Aimants. Because not only does Rocket Raccoon actually do damage, we all know that he's got a Gatling gun. The team play has been really nice to see. And I feel like Chuckles is taking such a massive leadership role on this with those callouts and at least the forward charge that we've been seeing from him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, when you got a mirror comp, it does come down to who's getting the better play calling and straight up just skill, right? And obviously both teams highly skilled here, but I want to say Smash has probably heard a lot about Delena, have heard a lot about some of these other great energies, some of the other hells out here. And if I see correctly, I think my eyes don't deceive me. We all know TTK is the controller goat here. Plays controller at a top level, but I think Smash, if I saw correctly, played controller. Maybe I'm off, maybe he came from that, but either way, it's been insane to see what he's been able to pull off.
For me, it's also, you know, we praised Delena so much, especially last weekend, for some of the angles that we were seeing from him, but Smash has been there in folds, at least, to give that rebuttal in those angles and actually find a lot of the better 1v1s for himself. Now, we have to see what Les Aimants do on the other side of things. This defense is tough, but they have a good angle.
Well, and they just went right up Main Street, like we said, and we saw that Smash got that opening pick, and all you need is one, especially on a duelist, to be able to push and overwhelm. They're taking a little bit of this inside the house approach as they go right to point. Nice block up there from Chuckles as they're trying to just burst through the immediate group walls, and they're kind of unable to break through this first line of defense here. Split a little bit. Somebody looking for that opening pick. Cyber just getting beautiful poke damage, ult charge, and pressure on them as Terra wants an elimination. This is going to be a big one if they can get smashed. Delena chasing the prey, and he does get that elimination, and that's going to help them a ton as he's now able to have this back flank poking tons of damage.
Look at this nasty angle that Delena has now because of that lack of pressure Smash was providing there. And Chuckles is going to go down too. This is tough because this might just be the point. I mean, we're already there, and this is 100 Thieves waking up to the fold.
Yeah, locking in, and you just know great communication there. Terra almost got that Smash elimination and then said, hey, Delena, finish it up for me. Use the chase. He did it and secured it. So you know there's some good comms there. Great just reset in momentum, right? This game's about momentum, and they were able to take a deep breath and know, hey, believe we know what we're doing. We've been here plenty of times, and we're seeing it here. Now, if we look at Magnets, we do have plenty of ultimates ready to go. Nearly all of them but the Goddess of Death, and 100 Thieves is looking pretty good for the next fight as well.
I'm just saying, Magnets, they have Magneto. It might just work out here. They're going to try to get a little bit of a defense. And this awkward angle that we saw last time around, too, Delena is already down. Smash now looking for an extra angle on the back line. Finds its double elimination there. Has to reset, going for a triple down, too. Cozy, this guy is popping off today.
Not to mention, we have Imprisonment going down with it. And yes, by the way, he is using controllers. Smash is playing hella and going wild on controller play. Love to see it here as we do have the heavy impact meteor to make a difference. They already used that Imprisonment, though, which was a huge burn of an ultimate, but they are having great pressure here. We can see that Magnus is already having to kind of back up, and they're able to get that space. So good job here from Zinni and gang to do what they do best. But wow, Dico getting the clutch hook on SJP, eliminating the BRB, and with it, Delena does the same to Magnets.
Dude, I mean, I think we're seeing a tried and true strategy here. The angles are becoming 100 Thieves' undoing here, and I really love the way Les Aimants are approaching these fights.
Oh my gosh, the trading's ridiculous, but Vinny showing he's been playing this tree since the alpha with the four-piece, the quad kill to make sure that they get this push all the way through successfully, and that was a clean finish without using much at the arsenal. They also have both the imprisonment and the meteor to combine here, so they can actually flip the script here pretty handily. 24 seconds is what Magnets have on the clock. There's still 5 minutes to go for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a difference, I would say, Cozy. We'll see if they can get a really strong defense out here. That's a lot of time to mess with your prey here as 100 Thieves, and we know they're very, very cerebral when they think about how they can approach these fights, and we already see they are pushing pretty heavily, already halfway there almost.
You can see Smash in the distance, trying to get that kind of off angle. He's kind of poking with it and trying to make the decision on it as the invisible boundary goes up immediately from Skyer. You know, this is typical about who can hold on to the strategist holds longer. As Delina trades with Smash. Smash was unable to commit on kind of the angle, and Delina made Smash pay there as TTK now closing in on the prey on Skyer. Skyer going down. Beautiful from TTK here, and with the imprisonment, they're unable to do much with the invisible boundary protection. Clutch there from Harvey, and right now, all of the momentum has shifted back to the NA GOATs.
Dude, I don't know. I mean, they won the fight night this week. I know they were coming in here with a lot of good mental, and that first game, it just seems like is a wake-up call a lot of time for 100 Thieves. This is the exact same scenario we saw last weekend, and here they are again, just pushing the point.
Yeah, that's a great point. Literally, it was 3-3, and then 100 Thieves kind of took over from there. So we'll see if it's the same story, same dance as Chuckles. Going in immediately, we have the meteor going in. TTK throwing down the Smash, unable to connect. Instead, TTK going down massively. Smash also traded down. Little bit of trade there with Delina, but not enough. 100 Thieves is going to have to reset here. 3 minutes, 24 seconds, plenty of time. Go and get with the team, re-strategize, reset.
Hella is a heck of a goddess of death. I just gotta say that. Really good angles there as well from the other side of things in Smash. A good defense, but you have to think what comes next. I mean, you still have that Kraken impact for Tico. You're about to have that Strangling Prison there for Chuckles. They will have a good defense, but I'm looking at Delena and I'm looking at Terra both having theirs, and that is terrifying.
Yep, without Skyer having that invisible boundary, that's going to be tough, right? Because unable to really do much defense to stop if I'm 100 Thieves here, I'm pushing full pedal to the metal. You know it was just up the invisible boundary. It's time to make the difference here. Vinny trying to get that imprisonment now. You can see him going on aggressive mode. Delina goes from the back here from the Goddess of Death. Doesn't even need it. Taking down Shivery. That was a huge pick there. No BRB. Both Rockets out of the fight. As Smash does the same difference. And Tico and Smash just completely take it into their own hands.
It's the battle of Agains. It's the battle of Kraken impacts, and there is the beautiful defense from Les Aimants. There's a reason why this team has been looked at, has been kept an eye on over this upper bracket run that they've had, and now we finally get the matchup against 100 Thieves, and they have a beautiful defense here. 2 minutes left for 100 Thieves to make this push.
With a lot of the combo setups already used too, Harvey is going to have that boundary, and now the Magnets is far away from having any defense protection there. Now Skyer, though, looking to get his ult up as soon as possible. You can see it rocketing up there quickly with Invisible Woman. But this has been the story of the Goddess of Death of Asgard here, as it's just been Delina, Smash, who gets the bigs, and Tico and Terra playing their role as well. Harvey, though, could be either aggressive with this ultimate or just use it for the protection right after this Magneto ult.
Smash is right on top of Delena, but they haven't gone at each other just yet. That's an important 1v1 that's happening over on the side, but the push is happening right now, Cozy.
Yeah, beautiful here as we've got the Goddess of Delena now taking a page from the book of clutchness. Delena taking down both. This is beautiful. What a way to finish. Great job. Minute 19 seconds left on the clock, and it almost happened so fast. It just was all... Honestly, the way they were able to spread themselves out there and just overwhelm them through different angles was the way they got that done.
Yeah, it was really nicely handled from Delena over on the side of the map there. I think Smash losing out a little bit on that 1v1, having to get pushed back, opened up for that Goddess of Death from Delena. Getting those picks across the map is huge. Now we get to it. We have very close timings for both teams. I think it was like a minute and a half for 100 Thieves, a minute 15 or so for Les Aimants. This is the kind of setup for this best of that I was so excited for.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate part. You know, once you get down to the very last seconds, you're able to almost match each other on how much time you have, and both equal out. Yes, you got a little bit more time as 100 Thieves. You can maybe fit in that portal if you want on the first fight there. You know, but there's not going to be a huge difference. It's going to come down to that first first initial fight, and both teams successfully got this point within, I would say, 30 seconds the first time around, right? So the push went quickly on both. We're going to see how the defense is able to hold here. Do you think they're just going to go up the good old-fashioned middle yet again?
So that's what I wanted to think about a little bit, is we did see a variation in which side these teams wanted. We saw that Les Aimants, when they had that push, they went over on that left side you're seeing on your screen right now. 100 Thieves actually took that little nestled in house structure to the right there that you saw on the screen. So I really wonder if Les Aimants are going to stick to the plan that they had last time around and establish a foothold in that kind of western side of the point.
All right, initially we have Smash now. It might be taking the page out of the Book of 100 Thieves, going to use that house here as Vinny is going to, they're both lined up here in the middle. They're both prepped to go in the middle. Now, Chuckle going up the middle, Smash taking the left side, and he did this exactly last time to take down Terra. Terra, though, not in the exact same location as last time. You seem a little bit more protected here, but Tico taking out Terra this time. It wasn't Smash, it was Tico. SJP, though, with the instant rest, they can reset. They can't allow another elimination as Tico is just blasting the infinite ammo, taking down Vinny. That is the big pick, and that is going to be the momentum changer. Small trade with Harvey, but not going to do it most likely, as they're going to be able to get this first point gap, which is so big in overtime.
It is, and you're going to have so much, at least extra wiggle room here now that you have that preemptive push. You have that momentum coming off that domination point take now.
Yeah, Smash missed the change of spawn there, so he's having to walk back, and so in the overtime, that's tough. They don't know it, though. 100 Thieves doesn't know that, so they're playing a little bit back there. That is funny. He's going to walk back, though. All right, from the top angle, trying to get something going there. Delena trying to get that pick. We have the Kraken impact immediately. Both teams have pretty much everything online, but Harvey goes down, it looks like, early, and that is going to be, I mean, he's right there on the ult, and now the ult will not be able to be built up.
That's so tough. That's such a good momentum stopper there, so you can keep that fight going. I like this move from Delena, though. Look at the angle that he has. He's trying to snipe out Smash once he gets back. We do have to think, though. Look at Les Aimants. Look at all those check marks. Ultimate's ready to go. The push is 9.
All right, here we go. Expect the imprisonment into the Kraken impact, but Harvey does not have the invisible boundary yet. He's able to get back in time, though, build it up. That was huge for 100 Thieves. Here comes the trade. They're trying to get something going. He gets the double pick. That's going to seal the defense if he's able to finish off the job, and it is going to be stopped right here from 100 Thieves. There's no shot for the reset here as Terra opened up with that two-piece, and Smash, it seems like it's just get back to the spawn. He's not, but it seems like it as he had to back up, rotate, and that was solid. But I want to say, Magnets, great job capping that point and getting a good push alongside it.
Yeah, I mean, even getting a little bit of room to wiggle there in that second part of it. Just good coordination, though, from 100 Thieves. I feel like it's so funny when you have mirror comps and you're just all ulting at the same time. It's so easy to get lost. But Terra really having a good mindset on where he needed to be in that fight, had some really good picks, and made that big difference.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, just Harvey being able to get back in time, too. That was just right time, right place. And listen, it's going to take about 1 minute and 55 to get to where they were. So this will be an overtime finish either way, most likely. But we'll see. I mean, this is not they've made it look easy, but it's not always the easiest point to cap. And both times, there's been the initial pick on the duelist, and then the team snowballs from there. So great job there.
Now, it is the question. The ball is in the 100 Thieves court, a team that we've seen absolutely dominate the Marvel Rivals scene. A team of friends, honestly, that get to come together and be this dominant. That's the story that we love to see. But dominance needs to continue, right? This is a team that we expect to be in finals. This is a team that expects to win the whole thing. And we've seen them push to the edge a little bit. Here's a chance for them to kind of show that out.
Alrighty, guys, to go up 1-0 in that best of 5. Again, the loser goes down to the lower brackets. The winner moves on to the upper bracket final, as stated. Tico getting that opening damage. We saw 100 Thieves take that room immediately, and they're going right to it. They're not going to change that strategy as it worked so well the first time, but they need to get this smash pick. That was what opened up the door, and can they burst it wide open, or is the door going to be closed shut?
They're going to look to try to burst that one open. They got a big, strong left kick, but Vinny, he's getting a little low. Gets that shield down as well. Here comes the push from 100 Thieves. Trying to get through this doorway now. Terra looking for the pick over there onto Chuckles as well.
Both Rockets going for the MVP screen over here because SJP and Jabori have been playing fantastic. SJP now with 2 finished picks. Love to see it here as it's been great momentum from 100 Thieves. There's 1 minute 12 seconds. Delena cleaning up the job there. They're going to be able to get this first point pretty handily. Now they're going almost probably for the stagger, right? You want to slowly kill them off. it's not going to matter too much. The team's going to reset up at the top of the hill exactly where we saw that last team fight finish there for Magnets. It all comes down to the last eliminations, but the big difference here is the 100 Thieves were able to build up their ultimates that much better. Skyer at 75%, Harvey though at 94%, but the big one is Terra with the Kraken Impact right there available in the next fight.
Probably the best Winter Soldier to do it here right now in the Marvel Rivals seed, and see if he can make that difference yet again. Again, we said last time in this push, in this same spot, that was where the buildup was. Here comes the ult.
There we go. TTK opening up with the picks. The Vanguards are getting it done this time around as everybody goes down immediately. Smash this time, trying to get something rolling and get that important pick, but Terra staying with the team, staying nice, close, tight as 100 Thieves. They did bend a little bit as we saw last week, but they did not break. It is theirs to go up 1-0.
1-0 in the best of 5, and such a tightly contested finish there in the end as well. I still think that this 100 Thieves team is so hard to overcome because they're all so good at the game, but also at the strategies implementation. And this team has been second to none so far, and we see them be able to overcome that hump over and over again.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a different play here from Delena, being able to see it from another angle, and it's Delena going crazy as he always does.
Yep.
But hey, listen, we saw a bunch of 3-0s. I just want to say that was a fun way to open this thing, Mazel. And the kind of the hype there for the Magnets lived up.
It did. It did. I mean, the run is there for a reason. There's a lot of eyes on this team for a reason, and we could see some of that in the initial pushes as well. I mean, you said it last week. I'll say it this week. It is no easy thing to get a 3 push onto 100 Thieves on any map, but being able to see that from Les Aimants was really, really nice. The thing is, though, you still have a second life, even if you lose this best of 5. But I have a lot of promise that this could go the distance between the two.
Look at Skyer's healing here. Incredible job. And I mean, just from there, pretty much the play was somewhat equalized. But yeah, I want to say I'm most impressed by a couple things. Smash in the way that he played, especially on controller as Hella. I don't think I've seen, especially at this level of play, that level of precision there on the sticks. So nice job there. But even, you know, I want to compliment 100 Thieves from coming back, being able to do what they do best. Let's go ahead and relive that moment for a second and check out the highlights. Alrighty, guys, welcome back. That was a way to kick things off, that is for sure. And there's a lot to break down in that matchup as they're about to head back together again. I gotta say, though, the thing that stood out to me was I've not seen a lot of strategists being able to match what 100 Thieves brings to the table. Harvey, SJP is just a great double threat. And I think Jimbury and Skyer did the job. They rose up really well, and I thought that was some of the best rocket play I've seen.
Dude, it was fun. I mean, both rockets, I gotta say it. JP was looking pretty good on it as well. But again, as you said, the point remains that we don't get to see a lot of strategists live up to the level that 100 Thieves strategists have. And it was really nice to see that duality there. I think on a counterpoint there, I do want to take a maybe introspective look into Les Aimants and how they utilize those vanguards, and especially the spacing that they were trying to utilize there. Because if you give 100 Thieves that entrance into the middle of the comp, I mean, Terra is just going to rip you apart, and you've got to find a way to kind of shore that up and make sure that that team synergy is still there.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think it goes kind of underappreciated, the intricacy of playing Groot and using the walls at the right time, cutting off the strategist, and Vinny plays it like the mastercraft that he is. As we head into round 2, it's Yggdrasil's Path. This is one of my favorite matches to watch, one of my favorite maps to spectate, as we've got our pick bands on the board, and that Wolverine and Adam, just like last time, are the first 2 off. And is history going to repeat itself? Do we get the exact same bands? I think both teams liked the mirror matchup, and they're comfortable with what they just played.
I know something we talked about last week as well is this is one of the favorites for 100 Thieves in terms of their maps as well. So the rocket is going to be that protect yet again, and we will see what that next one is going to be. The Invisible Woman is going to join again.
I love the rocket protects. I'm telling you, like this did not happen until later stages in the
Yeah.
MRI. But this is, I mean, obviously just it's so impactful, especially on these convoy maps, to have that little bit of forgiveness and then to have that 40% amplifier. Many people sleep on just that rocket being able to use that ultimate to go through support ultimates. It can easily
Hmm.
blaze through an invisible woman's invisible boundary if played right. It's the nice counter to it. SJP, one of the better Lunas that we've seen here in competitive play, and so that is that direct answer. Probably Loki here. It's probably the exact
Yeah.
same pick and ban,
Yep.
but there it is.
There you go. We have the similar bans, similar picks, or at least similar protects. But I think a little fact as well is about the Rocket Raccoon is it enables your superstars like Smash, like Delena, to play with that little bit of aggressive tempo, with a little bit of more confidence, knowing that they will have that BRB coming through. And it does look like, we're just running it back here, Cozy. We're just running it back.
Hey, 100%. And we have 100 things on defense first, but I've got to say, Smash did a great job on his angles and flanks that this map rewards tremendously. One of the best maps when it comes to being sneaky with where your placements are. And I've talked to the teams a lot. I've talked to the players. It's about marking that player and making sure everybody on the team is aware, even if they're unable to deal with it right away, they're aware where the biggest threat is. And right now, that's Smash for Magnets. And let's see if they can rise up to it.
Looking back to last week as well, I know we're not going to see it here because right now it's just the hella off. But Delena with the angles of the Psylocke last weekend and just seeing how he utilizes that extra pressure and kind of the knowledge the enemy team has of you being in that spot. He's been doing that on the Hella too. We've seen literally like multi-flanks from both Hellas this time around. So looking for a lot more of that here. But this is the tried and true setup. This is this corner that you love to have the choke around.
Yeah, absolutely here. And Groot often is banned on this, but both obviously teams, Chuckle and Vinny, love him. Groot makes a massive impact difference here. Maybe more than Kraken impact on this map. Just separating those strategists, getting that heals cut off, or that tank that is trying to get that space, but then he overcommits, right? We've seen that a lot. As Piercing Knight rains down from the Hella, getting nice spell damage there on Skyer as this thing opens up. And Chuckle, you see him doing it right here, playing a safe distance, trying to get space, but not by too much.
And they're going to try to get a little pull play there. Look how much distance they've gotten, but now Delena is up here to try to make a stand around this corner. You do not want to give the length here by 100 Thieves because this push becomes that much harder to defend against. Look at him. He's fighting a little flank angle here as well. We're getting very close to these ultimates coming up here, Cozy.
Yeah, we saw that last week. They like to give their opponent a little bit of space on these convoy maps, right? And then they lock in. We saw that on Midtown. Here it is. This is going to be the closing on Smash. And you got the beautiful finish as Smash goes down. And nice swap there from Delena, able to get to the other side of the map quickly with that Raven, sacrificing his mobility, but to use the aggression to his advantage. And they did just that.
And you see immediately it just signaled the retreat from Les Amours. They need to regroup, refocus. They will have the invisible boundary. They will have the Kraken impact. Can they make something happen here to the defensive ultimates that 100 Thieves are going to be rocking?
Yeah, listen, they've got everything locked and loaded here. Harvey is going to be able to pop that up immediately, and Chuckle's a little bit behind there on getting his ultimate, but both groups look locked and ready to go. This will come down to this initial trade, as it often does. Cyber, though, getting pulled in there in an uncomfortable position. Chucky now having to get himself out of there as well. TTK throwing it down, and TTK usually has been spot on with those ultimates, but unable to connect as Vinny now looking for that imprisonment. You can tell they're setting it up. There's Terra going down. They were ready for it, though, but they burst through the Rocket Raccoon. They burst through the buggy, and Terra picking up right where he left off last weekend as TTK swallows him up. The pentakill is here, and that is it.
That arm got some upgrades apparently over the week as Bucky's been working on it, but Tara's been working on it too. The guy is still a legend on the Winter Soldier, and he shows just why. I think being able to find that target selection is the most crucial part, and he was able to do so well. And now we're getting a little bit desperation push from Les Aimants. They've got about a minute and a half to get this point going.
Just pure aura there. And remember, whenever the Kraken impact comes down, you only have to get them to 20% health. Now that will change in season 2 to 15% health. That's the way that just burst through that damage nicely here as Terra is looking to get right back into it here. He's got that hook ready to go and try to get somebody displaced, but Tico goes down. That's a huge trade to open things up. The BRB already having to be used here, and look at this hook. Look at that claw taking in Chuckles out of position. Chuckles is now just running on the defense, and he's unable to escape. Terra going on a tear.
You think this guy had a machine gun with how he's using this revolver? My God, he's already got the Kraken impact back. This is a nightmare for Les Aimants, and this is tried and true 100%, 100 Thieves. They show out when they get angry, and we might just have to start calling them Hulk here.
I was watching an interview with Terra, and they asked everybody who is the best duelist in Marvel Rivals. A couple people said Sparker and EU, and Terra's like, he knows who it is. It's him. So Tico going down and getting the elimination on Vinny there, and having the nice trade to smash, eliminating Delina as well. And this is going to give them this space. They're going to need to back into this room.
They might actually get a lot of value with that Goddess of Death. They've gotten the push up to about 3/4. Meteor of M coming in here. Can he get a big dunk? We haven't really seen any dunks coming through just yet. But the defense is there from 100 Thieves. The invisible boundary is going to be popped.
Yep, absolutely. Vinny, though, with the nice trade on Skyer. That's a huge pick as Terra goes down on Tico. They're able to trade. It's overtime. This is it. They go 3 points on Clintar, but can they even get the 1 on Yggdrasil's path? And it's looking like it's going to be rough as SJP takes down Jabori, and that is it. 100 Thieves with the iron lock of a defense.
I'm telling you, man, like Terra is just too good at this game and too good at Bucky. Like you literally see so many times the Winter Soldier mirror match over and over again. We saw this last weekend. Over and over again, we see this in the meta, and Terra is just the difference, right? Like he is the one that makes it work. And the fact that we've gotten to see him dominate like that multiple times, but he literally was kind of like the 1v9 factor in a lot of those final pushes in this last one.
Yeah, absolutely. And listen, Winter Soldier does the reason they tuned him and what they did to tune it is that initial damage, and then also that immediate health that you can just get to the percentage. And that has been that kind of huge thing in most of these fights. But Groot is staying the exact same. And Vinny, I'm telling you, you know, we look at someone like Hogs on Sentinels and how good he is at all tanks, but he doesn't play any Groot. It's such a precise hero that rewards a ton of play, like we see in something like golf, where you play every day, you get a lot better. You can't come back to it if you skipped a lot of time. And Vinny has put all of the time on the big tree, and it's showing right here.
Yeah, and I think it's also that time gives you a little bit of know-how of how your spacing can really affect the fight and stuff like that, because you can see a massive difference not only in just where walls are placed, but kind of the space given by any Groot. And at the top level, it's even more so that way. So we're getting into this push here. 100 Thieves, they don't got a long way to go, and Les Aimants, they got to put on a heck of a defense.
Yeah, here we go now as 100 Thieves going right up the middle. Harvey getting immediate action there and poke damage, keeping Vinny alive there and able to have a nice little, you see Smash there on the top. They must have marked him, and he's playing a little bit on the defense as Delina immediately, though, on the offense. Smash having to adjust and take care of the flank threat. That is the most incredible duelist of positions here. I'm telling you, Delina always finds that angle that he can get that headshot, and he's going now for potential Smash as he's going to go around the backside as he's done often here. He has the high ground. You know the high ground from lore is always the best to have, but Chuckles does trade with Vinny early here. That's going to help them set up, and now I have to reset, and we've got Delina pushed in a lot, so this is awkward.
Terra's about to have his ultimate, and on this Punisher, it can just be the dealer here into this fight. We're getting really set up. Jabori's about to have his as well. Maybe that 40% damage is enough to stop this push, but it's getting a little dicey. He's given so much room to 100 Thieves, and they have so much time to push such little distance.
Yeah, I love the swap to the Punisher. No one's expecting it, right? And look at just like that. He smashes Smash. The boy having to bring them back. You've got the Punisher guns going out, taking through those group walls. It's a huge way to counter. The infinite ammo's up. He's also able to secure the elimination on the tree. There is a bit of a trade from the Magneto ult, but that was a lot of momentum. There's only a few meters left for 100 Thieves to take the crown here. Vinny now putting on the pressure, getting that space, going on the strategist. Both Rocket, now Smash, and Invisible Woman are blocked. Look at that perfect wall, closing everybody up. Not even going for the elimination, but the zone as they're pushing this, as the portal comes down. Now at this point, Magnus just fighting for desperation here, trying to keep them away. Smash has to stay alive if they want to come close to getting this, and it is going to be close as we have the last bit of the fight. The Ultimate's building back up.
They've got a little bit of time here. They've got a little bit of space. They're trying to keep on the point. They have to touch. They cannot give any more space. Look at Deletta. Look at Deletta.
There it is. There it is. Can he get the Smash pick? Yes, the head shot elimination as we've seen today. I would go Goddess of Death here, but he's just going to go with the good old-fashioned way. Now he goes into the ult, throwing it down. Going to go for the Smash elimination yet again as they take him down immediately, both in ult form and on land.
Look at this defense from Les Hamon. We thought they would have no room to give, but they're actually pushing 100 Thieves back as well. Smash still having his Goddess of Death. You've got to rely on that for a massive defense. 100 Thieves, they're trying to regroup. They're trying to resettle, and they will have Vinny Strangling Prison plus Terra back on the Winter Soldier, back with the Kraken Impact.
Beautiful defense, though, to be able to just stop that, right? Because that was so much momentum and ultimates going their way here. But here we go. As you said, the ultimates are primed up ready. Huge pick, though, on Vinny, trying to get him uncomfortable and immediately wiping him down with the Kraken Impact. He's got it locked and loaded yet again. And luckily, BRB bringing them back. Delina also had the massive pick there to get things rolling. Delina way in the back line there, making everybody uncomfortable. Smash taking down Terra, though. This is going to slow things down for 100 Thieves. 50 seconds on the clock. This is going to be an absolute legendary effort up a defense if they're able to hold, and there's not much left in the tank. 400 Thieves. You do have Nagamoto. You have two combo setups, but no follow-up.
That's the biggest thing is you have TTK with the Eye of Agamotto ready to go. Vinny with that Strangling Prison. They're still waiting to get those big duelist ultimates, but Deletta has just been on this flank this entire time. Meanwhile, on the other side, Chuckle did also switch, and here comes the Eye.
We've seen this time and time again. Delina loves playing like he's on defense here, even though he's on offense. Smash, though, with a huge pick on Vinny, taking that down, and that's also going to slow down the ultimate of imprisonment. And, man, Chuckle going crazy, too. Are they actually going to get this hold against the 100 Thieves? I'm not sure, but Delina now taking some quick damage there as he tries to get back to safety. He goes down as well, and this is going to have to be a stalling effort now as the team has to reset. They have plenty in the tank, though. There's the amplifier, 40% damage boost. They have two combo setups. They have everything they need but the Kraken Impact. Yeah. But I think they can still get the job done if they can land the shots. They're throwing out the prison to get things going. Can they get down Chico? No, he escapes.
Wow, Vinny held onto that ult for so long and doesn't get value off of it. TTK, he is the saving grace. He's been holding in. Here it goes.
My gosh, Agamotto going down. Is he able to connect fully? It doesn't look like they're able to get anything out of both combos set up. It's just going to be a fist fight now. No ultimates outside of the Goddess of Death. Smash throwing it down. They have to now shift attention, concentrate, and that's going to give them room to get the eliminations. This is a legendary effort on defense, and they've done it. They've done what seemed to be the impossible. They stumped them on even a greater defensive hold. What did I just watch?
Let's go! We have a contested series. We have some pressure being put on 100 Thieves. I couldn't be more excited. Les Hamon with a devastating defense there. Wow, what a way to start off our day here, Cozy.
That is why you never give up, right? As cheesy, corny as it is, you never give up, you never surrender, right? Because you can do even a better performance than the ones before you. You guys see it in your rank play. We just saw it here at the top level. And I've got to say, just fantastic job from Magnets. And you know what? We saw 3-0, 3-0, 3-0. We finally see a little bit of life here. And great job, man. That was fun to watch.
That's 100 Thieves' first loss. Like, that's so massive to think about it. And it comes off the back of some really gritty performances from Les Hamon. I think that's the biggest thing to think about here is they were in mirror matchups for the entirety of this. Even the switch to Doctor Strange, it was a mirror matchup. We got the immediate switch, and they were able to hold off 100 Thieves. So it comes down to the mechanical skill and also that togetherness that Les Hamon have definitely come into this game thinking about.
Yeah, I like what you said there about the grit, because that portal was kind of where everything was shown, right?
Yeah.
And you got to wonder, that Punisher change, like, you know, that kind of slowed things down. They did get a little bit of something going from it, but then they had to swap, kind of reset. That could have been it. We'll have to see, but let's go and check out the highlights, relive the legendary defenses. Let's go. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Hey, I know you just saw the Emma Frost trailer, the skin. Okay, hey, we're here. We've got a 1-to-1 matchup, all right? We've got to lock in and talk about what we just saw. And to me, Mazel, it came down to the ultimates. It came down to the Vanguard play. They had that one beautiful Terra, just, it was a Pinta? And then from that point on, there was just no synergy going on for the final eliminations.
Yeah, I think the hardest thing to see, I know we talked going into this one in the little break where we were like, we saw a little bit of what we wanted to see from the last game, where we saw a little bit more cleanliness from the Vanguard setup from Les Aimants. But I have to think about that setup at the end for 100 Thieves, where they were holding Vinny and TTK's ultimates, not able to find a combination there. It felt like 2 or 3 resets went by, and then we got the unleashing of them, still didn't find anything. And those are things that 100 Thieves can easily clean up and go back to the dominant team we know them as.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, but because they were kind of just staggering a little bit, but it came down to just one player, and then Delina had this great flank angle, but then no one was there. So then he had to come back, and by that point, then he got eliminated, and there's just never that reset. So can they reset here, get things together? Magnets, 100 Thieves, 1-to-1. This is exactly what you want. And we've got the Adam Warlock yet again coming from 100 Thieves, starting on offense. Here's the Wolverine. I think we're going to see the same pick and bans.
This is my first series, Cassie Marvel Rabbit, that's gotten more than 3 games. I'm just happy to be here, all right, Cozy? But we do have that Wolverine fan, like you were saying. A big focus into this one. Hit the Loki protect this time around instead of that third ban that we were seeing last time around.
Yeah, it was a visible woman from them last time. So it's interesting that they go into what essentially was banned there. And hey, that's risky business against someone like Harvey. Love to see that, as the Rocket Raccoon now protected from 100 Thieves, and then this typically goes into the Loki ban, but we now see the Luna ban. So they're now, what are they going to ban? What is Magnets going to go with?
I'm okay with that, so we don't have to get 4 between 2 worlds going at the same time. We had that so much last weekend, and it buys a lot of time there as well. But hey, I'm tired of dancing. All right, we'll see what this third ban is going to be, though. We got to see that Loki joining that table last time around, so maybe trying to change things up a little bit. It's actually going to be the Hela. So taking away a primary piece from both Smash and Delena.
That shows the confidence that Smash has in his flexibility, because we saw how great he was at Hela. Even though Delena's fantastic, Smash now going to flex into what Tico was playing. Tico going to the Vanguard, and look at this. We got a triple Vanguard, which if you guys watched the recent Dev Vision, they even highlighted they love the triple Vanguard play, and that makes so much sense. They went for the Loki save, because you want to know the engine that fuels that? It's Loki. His healing, they, for a reason, put a extra, I think, 5 seconds now on his runes, on his crystals, because it's such an engine to keep everyone alive, and you've got Magneto to do the damage. It's a tough team to fight.
It is, and the healing is just so ridiculous. You can get those big chunky health bars so quickly up. But Cozy, I'm excited. We're getting into this third map of this best of 5, and we finally get the handshakes off, I guess. No more mirrored comps. We actually have a little bit of differentiation between the two. By the way, I love that Delena was locking in Winter Soldier just to maybe have a little bit of fun with Terra. We all know that Terra is going to lock that one in. It is going to be the Delena Star-Lord here, though.
Yeah, Delena plays great Star-Lord, probably the second best DPS under Hela as well. Star-Lord just has so much instant damage. And I like whenever teams have something thrown against their game plan. And we're seeing that right here. It's 1-1. That's against their game plan and a Hela ban. So they really wanted to get them uncomfortable here, as we see Magnets taking that defense first. And they're going right to 100 Thieves. playing risky. They want it all, and you've got to show it as they're going right into the spawn, getting this going. If they can get something early, that's huge. But the spawn's right there, so this is some risk versus reward action as Cybery, though, does capitalize on it and gets Vinny down, but Tico has a long walk back.
Yeah, that walk is so brutal. Being able to take him off the table, that's a massive frontliner down to Lena. Now looking for some pop shots here as the Star-Lord, and I think we're starting to lose some faith here in this early push from Les Aimants.
Yeah, so with the triple Vanguard approach, you really have to make sure you don't get eliminated because you're risking a little bit, especially without that BRB device. You're risking a lot of a walk back. This is going to give him plenty of free real estate here. Delena pushed up early. They're going to go with the portal, though, immediately back into it. I love the aggressive nature. Delena all the way up, having to come back and rotate. And here comes the Kraken impact to get the eliminations rolling. Shuffle, first one out. He can maybe hit that portal because it just came up. But wow, Tico with the hit.
He actually got the reset there too, trying to get the grab. Can't get him on TTK, but he's got that reset of the Kraken impact. Looking for more, but here comes the Galactic Legend.
Wow, okay, Delena getting that pressure early. Remember, any pick that 100 Thieves here is much more imperative because Skyer now having to take the long walk back, and without the strategist, that's going to be tough. Jibbery, though, on that Loki was able to copy, get the invisible boundary up. TTK, though, because can he seal this hit? And he does! We've seen the meteor go up, down, and not be impactful, but there it is. Jibbery going down, and Delena picking up the scraps.
Able to clean that one up there. Love to see a meteor connecting, and 100 Thieves will get a very long push here. No portal this time around, Cozy.
Yeah, I love the aggressive nature right now from Maggots, though.
Me
like
too,
they
man.
feel they don't care who 100 Thieves is, right? They're like, we're players, we got here too. We're gonna show it as they're gonna reset here, and I think they're gonna challenge this point one more time as you see him going up the Groot ladder and down from the high ground here. I like this approach from them. They've got plenty in the tank. They've got the Agamotto into the meteor if they need that. Smash building up that Kraken impact very fast here, and look for them to open up with that. But what do you see? Vinny and Terra, can they land it? Here comes the meteor, and it throws down from space, and Terra being eliminated. There goes that combo. They were looking for it.
We got dunks going on both sides. Vinny gonna get grabbed, getting very low. Vinny is gone now. And now Tabori on the other side trying to save himself. Goes with those runes. The Agamotto, I don't think hit anybody.
No, unfortunately, but Jabori, great rotation there and able to protect himself from the legendary, fellow Loki player here. Respect with how he was able to play and survive there. Very hard to Delena. That was his main target. Now Delena having to get a little poke, but oh my gosh, he was just trying to get out of there with his team resetting, but he got the pick on Smash, and now he's able to collapse on the Loki. He knows exactly where he was, where he hit from the legendary previously, taking down the clones, and here comes the aggression. Vinny pushing up early there. Vinny on that Doctor Strange is fun to see as they are going all gas, no brakes. Kraken impact and the reset on the clones with ease. He's going to push them out of the runes. And look at this master class of managing the Loki clones and crystals. That is something to see.
Oh, he
as they
saved
try to get him
himself.
off the edge. And he saves him. Dude, that was the perfect master class there from Terra.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead and make a YouTube video out of it here for him, because that was just to the T what you need to be doing, and there's a reason why we lauded this guy's Winter Soldier over and over again. I gotta say though, I mean, sticking to the Hulk theme for 100 Thieves, they took away Delena's Hela. Well, now he's angry on the Star-Lord. Both these guys are pumping, Cozy.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're going to trade off this triple Vanguard approach, but they still going to rock and roll with it. And I got to say, Jabori here playing the perfect game and still just going up against greatness. Tico throwing down the meteor. Can he land that on the legendary? No way. He is going to counter it, though. Get plenty of charge up. Unable to get the elimination even from the 100 juice purple ball there as he's pushing in immediately on TTK, trying to get the pressure going. Smash now does have that Kraken impact and follow up here, but nothing to combo with, but doesn't need it as he gets the uppercut on Terra and the elimination. Now Vinny going down in the Kraken impact. This is going to be a full reset from the Smash.
We heard you talking, Smash says, and he goes ahead and executes his own great series of plays on the Winter Soldier. This guy has been definitely big eye for us today, having that great performance to start off on the Hela. And now back on the Winter Soldier. But here comes yet another push. We have to take a stock. Vinny has ultimate. TTK has ultimate.
And look at Delina on Storm now. We have to switch from the legendary Star-Lord himself. They've got the Omega Hurricane. Love the switch up. Love the surprise factor. Terra now trying to get a pick. Does get smashed, and he's got the Kraken Impact. It's going to be that snowball now from 100 Thieves. It's the opposite of what we just saw, but a clutch ultimate comes down from Skyer. And this is going to be it with a huge pop of the Maelstrom, and wow, Cyber able to go through all of that and making it look like easy work.
I mean, that's actually massive. Like, this healing for Jabori up on the side, he was untouched. And they still have Cyber, and they still have Jabori's ultimate. They can actually put up a nice defense here. 100 Thieves, they're starting to run out of time. 50 seconds there on this push to get another point.
Jabori is just going wild, and now we understand why they went with that Loki ban immediately. Each time they're playing this triple Vanguard, they're comfortable with it, and Jabori is that engine. Now we've got the Omega Hurricane. They're going to try to get something going as he gets a huge pick on Cyber, trying to get the CC of Agamotto. The Omega Hurricane coming down, trying to get the pressure going into... Wow, Chico trying to land the hit on Storm, unable to do so, but does trade from TTK. Omega Hurricane came up without any eliminations, and that's going to be huge as this is a tough point to take. Smash making it even harder as Delina goes down. Now Smash trying to escape, is unable to. Terra now trading with him.
They actually get that separation on the difference in the Kraken Impact here. Terra is still cooking them here. This might be a big push from 100 Thieves to try to get them on the other side of overtime. But look at that redeploy with the portal. This is why Les Amos go with this competition. They are hard to kill, and they are just difficult to get off the point.
Yeah, I mean, my goodness, we saw Smash, but here goes Delina taking down Jabori. That's a huge elimination as Terra trades with the Strange. Chuckle taking down Terra, and at this point, it's anybody's match. They have plenty, but Delina making the difference, taking out Tico, and they're able now to get to this small hook here. I don't think they're going to be able to cap, though. There's going to be one more defensive effort. They do have the invisible boundary to keep things honest. But outside of that, this is going to be a fair fight. The imprisonment, though, to make things really uncomfortable. And Jabori is locked and loaded as well. Can they get the space, though? TTK pushing up. They're trying to go right into it. They do stop it. 2.65 meters to the cap. Can they get it going? The imprisonment used right away. But Cyber taken down by 100 Terra. And they trade perfectly here. Do we see the Omega Hurricane? We do. It's going into it. There's the invisible boundary from Jabori at perfect play. Two great teams trying to find their way in the upper bracket finals. 1-1. This would be a massive stop from Magnets, but Smash making it even more known as he goes down, takes down Delina. At this point, it's going to be anybody's game.
It could be this push from Vinny here. He's trying to be the saving grace. There's the Meteor of Him. It's going to be blocked as well, though. Nice little push from 100 Thieves. The overtime is there. Nobody can step off the point now. Smash trying to get back, but no ultimates besides Skyer are available for Les Amons, and they're going to pop it.
Wow, and at this point, it is going to be just absolute perfect play from both teams. What a incredible switch there at the end to the screen to get the portal back, to get that momentum. You can't have anybody picked at that point. Chuckle putting pressure into that portal, making sure that nobody can hop through, but he's able to do so. And with that, they're just trying to push him off at this point. The big lanterns to keep him alive. This is so close with the Agamotto pushing, pulling. Delina, though, in the backline, somebody staying on. This fight has been going for ages. Both teams want it so bad. They don't want to go down, but Delina with the quick change, the portal back. We just saw this from Magnus on Yggdrasil's path. Delina now taking a book from Doctor Strange's pages.
That's actually such a huge switch up there, because it means that 100 Thieves continue to get this push going. And we were wondering if that kind of longevity that Les Amons can play with was going to be the difference maker. Now we see 100 Thieves pushing up past this point to get some extra distance.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw that. Like, whenever Yggdrasil's path was coming down to overtime, we had them. Magnets came back with the Strange swap, and that they were able to be successful. It just worked out for Delina. He's back, though, on Psylocke. We saw this last week, and he was fantastic here. There's only going to be 54 seconds, though, so they have to make quick works from it. Chuckle, Smash, everybody getting a piece of the pie here as they wipe out 100 Thieves. 46 seconds left.
Yeah, the Tico dance of the butterflies. Gotta love that swap up as well. Honestly, that has been the biggest story for me in this series, is these swaps are being game changing in both of these maps so far.
I mean, again, it's not just crowd control, it's a forced reunion there from Crew, and this is why it makes such an impact early. Tico now with this quick swap to Psylocke indoors. This is such a great point of high contention, and Psylocke able to put a lot of pressure inside this last point as we see both great duelists swap to it. Delena does have the Dance of the Butterflies. It's going to look to go on to duelist, but who is the best counter against it? Typically, it's going to be Loki.
Okay, Delena gets the pick. Now, this is the moment. Delena looking for the angle on the back line here, but just trying to find an angle for this Dance of Butterflies. Trying to get a pick now as well.
Ooh.
It's a finding smash.
I love Delena on Psylocke. He plays this character with such confidence, and it just perfectly highlights his kit. He's going to go with the dance now, most likely. No, he just goes with the quick dash, taking out
even
Skylar.
need it.
My goodness, he doesn't need an ultimate. He's just going to poke him and brought him with the shotgun. That is Psylocke. And again, this character just complements his gameplay perfectly. Look at trying to go for the one quick kill there. You can get a very fast combo with Psylocke, and right now they're just trying to reset. Little bit of stall going on, overtime push. Can 100 Thieves cap it, finish it off?
Big thing is Tico about to have his chuckle, about to have his ultimate. Now Delena holding on. Here we go.
Okay, there we go. Dance of the Butterflies trying to take down Tico. He is going to be able to get down SJP. SJP down. That's a monster pick. Harvey just trying to keep things going as he does take down Tico. That's huge. There is nothing to keep them up, though, as they're able to just snowball Terra down into Harvey. And at this point, 100 Thieves, valiant effort, good push. Certainly looking a lot better than at the beginning of the second point. And they're going to be held on that third point inside.
So a couple things happened in the last part. Delena trying to use the ultimate to get out of the damage that was coming down during the strangling prison, but really good synchronicity from Les Aimants to get that last defensive. But they just held 100 Thieves from getting the 3 points.
Yeah, I mean, that was even though they got pretty far into the third, that was an awesome defense all the way around. They did not break at all. And in the second point, it came down to a last second, half-court shot there from Delena into the Strange, and I love to see it, man. I'm telling you, he must have read up in the library during the weekend. I haven't seen a lot of Delena on Strange, but again, at Kamartaj, getting primed up for his moment, and Delena seems like he can do it all. He's not just a hella. Ban him, I'll switch, I'll swap. But I love to see this because I've yet to see a team that effectively plays triple Vanguard to huge success against 100 Thieves. They typically sweep these teams, and Magnets is showing they can.
Yep, and maybe they just found something in the prep. I think that's the biggest thing is there is a lot of tape on 100 Thieves as well. Les Aimants could go through and try to find those strategies working. But like you said, typically it doesn't work. So they must have found something that just in the comfort or the strategy that works out for them. But this is also a big ask. I think the defense for 100 Thieves on this map is second to none. And I really want to see how they utilize this. They are swapping up the composition a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely here. And it just goes so much past just the gameplay. The homework and prep, the double Psylocke swap, that's not coincidence, man. They both know what to expect, and they did their homework. They watched their team's matches, and we're watching that time in the film room, as they say, come to light here as Terra on the thing is something to witness. It's clobbering time, my man, as he's throwing down the haymakers and getting that immediate pressure. I love the swap.
That's the beauty of it. All you got to do is right click, baby. Okay, sometimes you got to turn your ability. Sometimes you got to do that, but right click it all day, and Terra knows exactly how to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen 100 Thieves go triple Vanguard at the beginning of this point before. I believe it was against Sentinels a long time ago, the MRI, but they're back here ready. This is a great first point to do it. Skyer, though, taking down Vinny. They still have 2 Vanguards to keep things going, and Shuckle goes up to space there for a moment, really getting his distance. We have Cybers trying to get Delena down. This would be a massive pick, and he successfully does. But all the fights happening here at the very beginning of the spawn, that's going to give 100 Thieves plenty of room still, and there could be even a couple of fights. And Cyber here going for a little bit of spying or potential portal close off.
Yeah, I could be looking at the doorway closes there, but just gonna see if they get any swaps going through here and trying to spy if TTK is gonna go with any kind of portal themselves. Again, like you said, though, this first push is massive right now as they are gonna get a lot of distance, but as we come back to the fold, 100 Thieves, they've got a lot locked and ready to go.
Yeah, I love Harvey here on his comfort, on his home. He's got his Loki ready to go. SJP with the invisible boundary is going to be able to help plenty of defense there. And they don't really have much offensively. They had to use a lot there, the Mutants, on the initial push there. And that was big. Smash doesn't need an ultimate to take down Delena. And you know what? You have to have confidence to play these Flyers against someone as good as Smash of what we've seen. Massive Agamotto there with the 5-hit. Smash taking down Vinny. And that was a thing of beauty from Cyber.
It really was. The eyes of Agamotto survival going all over the place. But Smash is trying to buy some time here in this pocket as they come back around the corner. Chuckle, he does have the strangling prison here. Maybe looking for an angle. Doesn't even need it just yet. Gonna get one of the KOs, but they are chasing 100 Thieves down.
Wow, I mean, that was such a mastercraft of the CC that is Agamotto. Great job there. And right now, if you're looking at both teams, this fight's going to be tight and close because we have plenty of setups, but not a lot of finish. But Smash has that massive difference in the Kraken impact. Cyber, though, with the double pop of the AoE, not letting anybody get a piece of this point, and they're confidently trying to take point one here as Smash uses his ultimate. They're kind of emptying the vault here, but with confidence as they take down 100 Thieves with ease. This portal didn't even get the players through.
Give him resets, baby. That's all Smash was like. Oh, he just got like bumped into the sky and lost his Kraken impact. But that is a desperate attempt there from 100 Thieves to try to get back onto that point and try to get something going. We are going to see the readaptation now. Terra on this Winter Soldier again, and a defense in the second point needed. There's a ton of time for Les Aimants to work with.
Yeah, that portal was straight to hell. I mean, that was your death sentence there.
Bucky's waiting for you on the other side.
With the Kraken impact, yeah, that's a tough way to go in there. But valiant effort as Harvey pushing forward. They do have the mischief there to be able to copy and, again, have plenty of a defensive effort. Terra is going to have the Kraken impact. We're going to see that wombo combo. That is him and Vinny. We've seen them on and off with how successful it's been. And if we look on the defense, so Skyer could easily do the boundary or Jabori, whatever they decide to go with here.
See if they actually want to kind of get this push around the corner, maybe just waiting for a better angle, waiting for a couple of these ultimates. Cypher is about to have his eye Agamotto, but really I'm looking at Smash to get this one going. Invisible Boundary will end up getting popped there as well by Harvey.
Yeah, that's actually a huge bait of the Strategist ultimate because now they have both of theirs ready to go, and the Eye of Agamotto is nearly charged. I think that's what they were waiting for here. It's charged. Will Cyber continue to do what he's doing best? Bully. We said that first round on Clintar, it wasn't exactly what we wanted to see from the Vanguards, and since then they've stepped up to the plate. Cyber making a big impact as he goes in with the AoE. He gets the Agamotto down. They try to combine it, but Terra with the quick defense on Cyber using Kraken impact to keep his team alive the best he can there, and Vinny smashing down Smash, going for Skyer here at this point, and even with the bait from the Harvey boundary, they were able to make beautiful trades there and just huge intelligence and awareness from Terra to take down what could have been an impactful Agamotto.
Yeah, that was a massive clean sweep from 100 Thieves. They still have Vinny's strangling prison here as well. They'll be close to that storm from Delena, and Harvey about to have his back up. I'm sure an invisible boundary will be there. Terra try to get out of that one, but now another defense coming in because you've got about a minute and 35 seconds, a little bit more than that. Terra finds another KO though to stop the push right now from Les Aimants.
And not just any, I mean, Jabori, that's a massive one to be able to take down, and that's just going to have enforced the full team reset, right? Vinny with Delena should be enough to handle this, because if we look over on Magnus, they've got really nothing left in that tank. And that's what's so crazy. They were able to win that fight, 100 Thieves, where the Magnus kind of used everything that they had ready. The Eye, the imprisonment, but building up quickly. Here comes the Omega Hurricane. Skyer, though, is going to have the answer to this with the invisible boundary that should be popped up any moment. They're just going to rely on the rune stones. There's the boundary. And at this point, they're going to put all the pressure on them. 100 Thieves should now empty their vaults and try to get some eliminations. But Jabori with a huge snipe.
Jabori just stopping Delena's angle there, but look at 100 Thieves. They are waiting. They're buying time right now. That Harvey invisible boundary is there, but you still have Terra with this Kraken impact ready to go. You still have SJP with his own invisible boundary. They need to get back over here on the point, though. They're keeping this choke point ready to go under the arches.
We saw how hard this was for 100 Thieves to cap. Will it be as hard for Magnets? There's plenty in the tanks for both. This is about to be the fireworks of Ultimates, a light show. You're barely going to know what's going on as both teams empty out the tank. 100 Thieves Terra getting a nice hit there on the clones, being able to fuel up his firepower. Delena trying to get that poke damage. The only ultimate not up for 100 Thieves will be the Omega Hurricane. That could come in clutch later as both teams use everything they've got. All the check marks coming out, and this is not your homework. This is for the upper bracket finals, and this is it. Terra trying to get that early pick. Both teams playing safe with the poke, trying to get that initial advantage and get the momentum in their direction.
They can, dude. They're going to push around the corner. They're strangling prison pop. Here comes that ultimate parade.
There it is. Eric now going immediately on Tico, and with the elimination there, beautiful smash trade with Delina yet again. That's going to be very impactful as Jabor going in, trying to get that boundary going. Terra, though, we've seen it before, we've seen it again. He puts things in his own hands here. There's not a lot of time left. Terra getting his distance. Here comes the smash, and no connection there as TTK, though, does finish off Cyborg, and this should be, right now, 100 Thieves to lose.
Switch. Oh, Delina, he's getting a little low there. Smash trying to find him, does end up doing it, but Vinny is able to get the denial onto Smash. They're losing bodies. The overtime count is coming to a close.
What? So, I mean, listen, sometimes this comes down to just the fights with the ultimates and how you can use them, the teamwork that comes into play, and who's getting what picked. And honestly, just the patience of cooldowns and not pulling the trigger too soon. Who uses that strategist ultimate? Who uses the combo setup first? And we saw last time, even though 100 Thieves lost that kind of internal battle, they were able to win with the portal back that they kept on cooldown, and everything was cooled down from there.
It definitely feels like 100 Thieves realized what Les Aimants were putting down and kind of adapted their strategy to that, right? Like even that early push going to that triple Vanguard that we know they've done before all that time ago, right? But trying to adapt that style to make sure they can win. And it did look dominant in the end.
Listen, I've got notes on a lot of players. I've talked to almost everybody. Skyer, you're next up. 70,000 healing. Are you kidding me? I mean, 70,000, 60 before that. These strategists, I have praised 100 Thieves for SJP and Harvey. They're some of my favorite in the game and how they play across the world, honestly, EU and moving forward. But man, Skyer and Jabrori are playing with just excellence in the role.
Yeah, and that's a lot of the factor of what has led to this massive run in the upper bracket from Les Aimants. You even have to give some love to Jabori there. I know you're giving love to both of them, but some of those shots, some of the angles for the saves on the Loki as well, countering Harvey on the other side, I think was really, really nice. Like you think to that one defensive point at the top where he was kind of using that second level to just have an angle over them. Really, really awesome stuff. 100 Thieves, they will go up 2-1 now, though, in the series.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Let's go ahead and relive the chaos. It has been tight. Loser goes to the lower bracket. Let's check out the highlights. Hello and welcome back to what has been chess with superpowers. I mean, both these teams, it feels like a grand finals at time with how they're playing, the adjustments they're making, and I think we've talked about it. What I want to highlight there is not just the elite play, but the swaps at the right time to just capitalize on the opportunity. We saw there from Delina several times, but everybody kind of playing a role into their role and trying to be flexible, and it was showcasing there massively.
Yeah, I think the swaps at Duelist, the swaps at Vanguard have been really interesting to kind of keep an eye on because we had started this series with full-on mirror matches, and now we're starting to get some differences, but that immediate swaps from Delena and Smash, it's so funny because it seems like Delena is definitely leading that swap, and then Smash's answer is to kind of get that mirror match into it and try to find the better of it. But I'm hoping to see some more Psylocke. I'm hoping to see some more setup strategies from these two teams, but it does have a situation where Les Aimants, they are backs against the wall from here on out. One more map win and 100 Thieves will go on to that upper final.
Yeah, we see why Wolverine's getting banned right away from Magnets, and it's because they do play that triple Vanguard to great success. And that's really why, if we're going to see mirror, it all depends down if we get exactly the same bans that happened last time, because that is going to be able to favor Magnets in that triple Vanguard. They're going to start with the Adam Warlock. They don't want any save to happen. My guess is Magnets like to save them because they would probably go with another ban there. But instead, we've got the Rocket Raccoon. We've seen the same stuff here from 100 Thieves. Are we going to see it? Is this the Loki save or is it the Invisible Woman? It's moving to Invisible Woman.
There it is. Okay. So we did end up seeing bans on the Loki in that first map in the third ban slot for both. At least it was typically actually on
Luna
the
and
red
Loki.
side. Yeah, but we'll see if that is going to be the same this time around. Right now, the Luna is there, so I'm going to expect that it's going to be much the same.
And guys, this is some of the last you're going to see of Shin Shibuya, at least for a little bit. This is going to be rotating out of competitive play. And wow! 100 Thieves going with their group ban.
Man.
And you want to know why? Vinny loves Venom on this map. Shin Shibuya is a great Venom map to capitalize, and I love the swap off. We've seen a little bit of this from each team. It was Hella last time. It's Groot this time, and now Chuckle is going to have to flex to the Thing. And again, as I was saying before, Shin Shibuya rotating out for Season 2. One of my favorite maps. I think this is a great one to watch here.
Oh, it's going to be so fun. But also, you can just be so annoying on this map as Vinny, and that's exactly why he wants this choice. My big shout out. We get to go back to the tried and true duelist 1v1 setup. Smash and Delena back on the Hella after it was banned away in that second map.
Yeah, and this is quite the comp here from the Magnets. You're going to have Strange and Thing. That's going to give plenty of space, you know, for them to be able to push pretty aggressively on offense. 100 Thieves having to lock things down early. And for 100 Thieves, I've said it again, I'll say it here now. Harvey here is great with Loki on this map. This little room that Delena was in right there is great to reset and a place to escape back into the lanterns. You're going to see both strategists kind of use that as a protection from flanks because, as you just said, Smash on controller can go crazy, and this is a great element to do so.
It's a good shout out. It's a good shout out. We'll see if he can keep up with Delena again, because this has been the most contested series I feel like we've seen 100 Thieves deal with. I mean, obviously Fight Night just happened as well, but trying to see if they can be that clean team we've known them, this undefeated run that was stopped here after they just lost the map to Les Aimants.
Yeah, absolutely here, and I think they're going to go just full aggro mode here as they're trying to decide what flank to take. Vinny taking early damage though, as Venom having to hop out of there. This is usually Hulk's job, but Venom has been great this season for that just consistent source of annoyance and distraction and pressure that you want from that Vanguard role. Smash now trying to get that early trade here as Jabrori is on that rocket we've seen once before. Infinite ammo going down, and they're going to try to burst down Vinny on that Venom, and this is why the pick works out so well. Having great escape, able to flex and move around where needed to, but now here we go. We've got the push in. Cyborg trying to make things uncomfortable. Taking down Sarah. Key elimination there, but Delena is getting rid of Smash, and that's going to be an even trade. Two duelists down, but there goes Smash, resurrected by the rocket, and that might be the difference.
It might be indeed. They have this renewed push as well. Smash knows where Delena is, trying to get the pick on the angle there. Gets his OKO as he swaps over to the right side. Invisible boundaries are here, Cozy. We're starting to get a little bit thick.
What a quick up and snap there and crackle from the mouse, or I guess controller. Smash taking out TTK. That's a massive elimination early as Terra now going down with a Kraken impact. Unable to get a connection there. That's a quick usage. There was no combo setup. You're going to have less of that with Vinny on the Venom. There they are. They're in the room to reset, and at this point, they're probably going to have to full commit as the Venom goes out. Come on, Vinny's going to get that elimination.
He does
secure it. He wanted that with everything he's got, but Smash with the quick soul reacher into the beautiful headshot, and that came down to really just perfect play from Magnets as they get the point.
Les Aimants, that was clean. The 1v1 matchup again, it goes the way of Smash in that one. A couple quick kills also going the way of Les Aimants, and now they have a pretty good push off the back of that. We also have to look. Smash has the Goddess of Death. Delena also has his. We're getting a little bit closer to other ultimates, but still pretty far away from them, and I love the way that Vinny has been playing this. This is tried and true Vinny performance.
Yeah, they've got really good aggressive just team comp here as Delena getting a beautiful poke to slow things down. Tico going down early. Again, that BRB, though, is going to be very handy on a map like this where you need to rely on mistakes and play with that aggressive nature. That's why the BRB is so good right now for them. They're able to play with the aggression that they want to. They need to if they want to beat 100 Thieves. They're down 2-1. It could come down to this, or they go down to the lower as Smash knows it, taking down Delena. We are seeing just often in early trades from both teams. Chuckle using the smash and hit into the Magneto shields, taking him down, and now they're on the last bit of this point here. But we do have Vinny distracting the payload, and that's what Venom is best at. He's able to keep that thing at bay, and no one can deal with it.
And it's so difficult now to actually get this redemption push on, because you do have everything available on both sides pretty much, and see if any of these picks come through. Tico has been a force to be reckoned with now as well in these pushes.
This is about to be a symphony of chaos, right? Like everybody, who's going to hit the perfect note as we've got both teams now going all in. Everything's about to be emptied out. The cues have been said. They said unleash as Tico takes down Terra with beauty. And we've got the infinite ammo now. Tico trying to capitalize on this kit. The quick hooks can't even see, and they're going for the reach. And there goes a meteor to the moon as Cyber tries to fly it up there and unable to connect, but does take down Delina, and that's going to give them all the space they need to at least get this thing closer to the bridge.
It's a zoning meteor, using the gravity to push him out of the area, but it truly is trying to get him in the sky. Wasn't able to, but the push is still there. Lizamol almost onto this first separation here on this 2-point map, and they've done so by just denying this pressure from 100 Thieves. It's not like Delena isn't finding angles. It's not like these are going down, but Tico now making it known.
That was incredible. I mean, beautiful as Delina and TTK trying to put pressure on Smash, but then you've got Tico with one of the best hooks that I've seen in this tournament, getting both with the huge uppercut and the pressure. Vinny now going on that visible woman again. Can he capitalize on the elimination? He does not, but Terra taking down Smash in return. TTK going down. There's that BRB up, and right now 2 meters separating the teams. And at this point, it's going to be bad as Tico is able to throw down the Kraken impact. The invisible boundary goes up, and at this point, the point goes to Magnus.
Yeah, I mean, really nice separation from Tico there. I mean, he has been a lethal hunter in these fights. He's just finding the angles on the strategist of of the other side of things for Lizamon. And now, a little bit far from the ultimates, but this is a massive push in the right direction for Lizamon.
Yeah, that's a tough point to get on this map too, and so really good play there from them. Just able, this is probably the next bit of choke here. Up this hill can be very tough because a lot of the advantage goes to the defense with how quick their spawn is. They have a clobbering time. They're going to look to set up here. Nothing to follow, but they can go with the meteor. We've seen that plenty of times in Dom maps throughout this tournament. Here goes clobber time. There's the connection, and we see it right there as Terra, wrong place, wrong time, gets smashed with 100,000 pounds of meteor.
Yeah, Cyber says, I'm not missing that one. Point blank there, but he did have the BRB device, so Terra is still back in the fight, back in this defense for 100 Thieves. He's getting pushed around a little bit, but here comes the lead on the flank on a Smash. Smash trying to reset as well. Not going to be able to. 100 Thieves able to get this push.
Yeah, when you lose all that space here in the second point, that's a great swap over for Vinny going into the thing, able to adjust now and have that presence for his team, as this is really 2 bulls going against each other on this side of the point. And as you just said beautifully, that meteor went to Marvel Rivals 2. The other one went right to Terra's face. That was great from Cyborg there, as Delina gets the pick there on Smash, able to slow them down. BRB already used, going to be important. That's a key cooldown to keep track of here.
We do have Kraken impact back for Tico. He's been the biggest difference maker for me in these fights as well. Getting the better hand over Terra, the best Winter Soldier, it feels like, in North America. Now Delena and Smash is another 1v1 we got to keep an eye on, but ultimates are coming up here.
Wow, beautiful use of the infinite ammo there to get through Smash, to put a lot of pressure on the thing. One of his weaknesses is just going through relentless damage. Terra using that to get out of the invisible boundary. Beautiful use of not going too aggressive on the offense with the invisible hook. He doesn't even need sight. He can just pull him through as he gets the Magneto there. Clobbering time coming down from Vinny. They're trying to capitalize on it. Unable to successfully get anything rolling. Would have thought TTK wanted to maybe commit to Meteor there. They're keeping on to it. We've got now Magnets with everything in the roster outside of a defensive ultimate. This is going to be very close as there's 53 seconds left. There goes the clobbering time. Here comes the Meteor from Cyborg, and the connection on Vinny is a hit as they're able to push through, potentially through this point, but BRB taking that, getting Vinny back in the fight.
They might be able to. Delena does have the goddess step. He's going to pop it right now. And there comes the right click from Chuckles. He's laughing all the way to the bank right now. Lizamo trying to make a last-second push.
All the rocks going towards him. There's the thing that Chuckle just throwing the haymakers, doing his best rocky impression, getting TTK uncomfortable. Look at TTK, it's not even looking his way. The disrespect is continuing to poke. Fraud, SJP getting the defensive shields in for TTK, keeping him alive. Great aggressiveness and pressure, space making from the vanguards of 100 Thieves here. Terra now with the Kraken impact. He can use it. He chooses to save it as he eliminates the key Jabrori pick. That's a massive pick. These are clutch picks here. Ice in the veins. We've got now the Kraken impact coming down. May not getting any eliminations, but it could be a little too late as the offense stretch from the spawn is extremely long. But Cyber now getting an elimination. Smash block as well. Hold on. The script might be flipped here, but we do have the BRB for Delina. It's going to come down to the last minute.
They might do. I was going to say, what's ice in the veins for the Goddess of Death? Smash able to get something going here, but try to get a better angle. This push is so difficult. The respawn is right there, but they're on the verge. They can maybe get this push going to 3 points, but 100 Thieves desperate to hold on. Nice grab.
This meteor is going to be everything here. You do also have, obviously, the invisible boundary keeping the team up and going into aggressive mode. There's no connection on the meteor. Cypher now has that for him. Clobbering time going up. No connections as well. A lot of ultimates. The fireworks, but no big finish grand finale. Smash now trying to get the difference. Delina poking down. We've had a lot of trading between roles here as now we've got Juckles thrown in the fist. It's a boxing match here. Which thing will go down first? Clobber time. Ready to go for Juckle. Can they get the follow-up for the 4th combo we've seen in one fight? Tico taking down Delina at this point, and now we do have momentum going for Magnets.
They do. They have one last push here. It feels like they're getting a little bit closer to some of these ultimates. Smash gonna have the Goddess of Death. Look at it, Cook. They're getting this push right now, Closey.
Wow, the 40% amplifier just giving them every piece of that firepower. This is real firepower, as Rocket says. We're seeing it live as it's making the difference here for Magnets to get this push. Can they get the 3 cap? They do! They get 3 points. They were so close to the overtime. You could hardly see it, but they got it successfully. Beautiful use of ultimates there. It was, again, 2 bulls going right at each other. My gosh, it is truly chess with superpowers.
It really is. It's so fun to watch. Like, these are the kinds of series that I feel like we were missing out on last weekend with a lot of the one-sided affairs. But this is when you have 2 of the top teams in North America going at each other, and it is a wrestling match there. The biggest thing now, though, we talked so much about the Les Aimants supportive roles, the strategists. Right now, it's all Tico and Smash, man. They're getting the better of a lot of these angles, and that's something you love to see.
Yeah, you know what I like seeing from this too? It doesn't seem like one player is having all the impact. You know what I mean? We've seen one guy take in the MVP role, you know, but here it's like, all right, somebody gets a 1, maybe 2. There's no like massive picks. It's just pure grit team fighting in the, you know, the sludge here, and I love that. That's what I love to see at this top level of play. Both teams fully locked in. And you know what we're seeing more this week too is a lot better of a defensive approach from the Kraken Impact. Yes, we've had our impacts that kind of, you know, snowball and do what it does best, but I feel like both teams have adjusted really well to have a great defensive response to what has been the key ultimate, obviously, in the MRI, now the MRC.
Yeah, it's always fun. To see like the metas develop in tournament itself. Obviously we have a lot of outside tournaments going on to see some of these teams go at each other and see what changes in those regards, but it is a differentiation of kind of that comfort when you get to this level, when you get to this kind of top 8 setup, by the way, where we're at out of 500 plus teams, and now we're getting a nice redemption from 100 Thieves. We know them to get angry when they lose points, and here they go.
Channeling their inner Hulk, right? Vinny not on the Venom this time around, on the Thing, sticking with what he left out as. They played that great, so I get why they're sticking with it. TTK very low here on the health. They're trying to keep him up. That would be a massive pick. They get him right back up, ready for the action as he pushes into point now. A lot to deal with. Everybody's coming out all angles, and at the lead of it, it is Smash from up top, making them uncomfortable, and somebody's going to have to take care of that, or they're going to continue to get picked off. Now they've got everybody they want in the building. This is exactly how 100 Thieves went down. You've got the big Thing punches all at once, AoE damage. Harvey, though, taking the role of duelist with Invisible Woman. Sue Storm going crazy.
That's actually so wild. And now Tara's getting the resets. This is the angry 100 Thieves. This is the 100 Thieves that is trying to push that tempo onto Les Aimants. They do end up losing Tara, and they don't have Delina, so a lot of the duel damage is down. Harvey still trying to pick up the slack on that one.
Oh my goodness, Harvey showing why he's one of the goats of the strategist role with the beautiful elimination there on the thing. And this is what I'm talking about. There's no one person getting the whole job done. Everybody getting a piece of the pie. We do have to swap over. Tico went into Doctor Strange because they can potentially hold this point. They see it. There's the clobber in time. There's the setup. Are they able to capitalize? No, but the boundary does come out with a huge throw. And look at the space they just got from that. They have pushed 100 Thieves all the way back.
They have. They did get 2 marks on the push here, but still going to need that third. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult to grab onto. They're getting very close to ultimate. So Delena about to have his Goddess of Death. TTK going to have that one. The invisible boundary has gone through. Here comes the Agamotto.
Beautiful. I mean, wow. You knew Harvey just put the mouse down. He's like, all right, I'm probably gonna eliminate. Oh my goodness, though. Delena and Terra, the 2 duelists at threat, just going crazy here. But there's that BRB device just coming into clutch. We've got the amplifier up. This is 40% damage. Fully loaded, and they got exactly what they needed there for the final push of the point. Man, this has been just razor tight team fights.
It really has been. I love it. You see that one headshot by Delena did like 80% damage of Smash there. That's just what the Rocket Raccoon diff brings to the table. Now it's also a setup where they can play pretty proactively around this angle. Delena known for popping those shots, but gonna have a nice push to start off this second phase.
Yeah, Vinny got rid of the Invisible Woman on the first push last time, and they were able to cap. And now this time, you had the Invisible Woman go down to the Agamotto, and it didn't matter. The duelists were able to step up without the support. That's what you want to see here at the top level of play as Tico now trying to get that early pressure on. And Shuckles also right into the thick of it, playing the thing perfectly, not too far out there. Health is low. Cyber, look at this kind of triangular position attack. They're able to get here as the Meteor is up and ready to go. Gonna save onto it for that combo hit. And now they push into the point. There's the clobber in time coming out from Vinny. Here comes the Meteor. There's a lot of targets, but he hits the ramp.
Oh, that feels real bad, but now the Goddess of Death is trying to back that one up. They are able to get a couple KOs here from Smash, so the push is going to be denied for now. And some really nice terrain setup they can use for this second attempt by 100 Thieves.
Yeah, we did not see 100 Thieves hold here for them. They were able to push through this immediately, so this is going to be a tougher point. Now, if they get any eliminations, there is the BRB, but there's a lot of spawn walks, so they're going to be able to push this if they can get that key pick. Look for Delena to go and get the flank pick on there. They're getting plenty of space. There's Delena right on cue. He must have heard me through the mic. There we go. Let's see who can finish, and he gets smashed. This is what you want to say, Delena. Let's go.
He's got 2 of them. Looking for a third there as well. Gets it. Maybe a quad. Is he going to get more? That's a team wipe. Smash the only one left on the side of Lizamo, and Delena shines again.
Knowing exactly what's called for you, knowing exactly what you need to do in that moment. The team fights are tight. It comes down to perfection, and that was as good as you get for a flanking duelist. Now we're looking for the Vanguards to push up early here. The battle on the bridge. We saw this last time go very easily to the Magnus, but can 100 Thieves respond the same?
Gonna try to start it off with Vinny. Rightfully so on the thing, getting a little bit lower. Has to do that immediate spin back. Pushing up is TTK, though. He has that Meteor of M. Delena is also going to go with the Goddess of Death here, so you got the combo coming through.
Yeah, Delena, they're just getting space for his team. They were all up on the bridge, but the Goddess of Death forced all their attention to turn around. Beautiful play there as Delena does get the pick on Smash. BRB used key ability, and Delena's going to go for one more. He took him down before. He's going to go for him again. Look at Smash poke. Delena with the patience. I love the chess match between both of them there. Now SJP trying to keep his distance, staying alive. Great use of space here for them. They're able to protect themselves through what was Cyber's Meteor. And at this point, clobber time coming down. Everybody hit from it. We're going to see at least one trade. Delena taking down Tico, but now Smash taking down Delena. BRB available for them. Right now, you have all the ability advantage towards 100 Thieves. Can they finish the job here as Skyer is taking down Vinny, though?
Yeah, the fact that they have this damage boost as well. They have so much in the tank for Delena. He's going to look for another angle. I love it, though. Both him and Smash been trying to find these flanks, and Delena finds him out.
Did you see Harvey pop up the shield there for Delena to give him just that much breathing room? How do you have time to think about that when you have all the mess of everything like an MCU film ahead of you here? Beautiful as SJP gets the pick on Shuckle right before the invisible boundary. Okay.
They're able to get a massive, I mean, SJP just saying, hey, I got some guns too. And now we have Terra with these resets potentially available. Just gonna pop down Smash and didn't even have to use the Kraken Impact.
Beautiful as it goes up there. Nice shield usage there to block the impact, though. Unable to block the other, though. And we've got the cooling on the enemies. 20% is what they got to get them to. Delina, though, getting that clutch elimination. Vinny to follow. And right now, it's just the Goddess of Death to clean things up. They're going to get this point, and they are going to potentially push this now into that third one. It was just as close for Magnets, and now we're seeing the same. Only a minute 30.
Man. We get to
No
keep
mistakes.
going. I love it. It is exactly what I asked for coming into today, especially in this upper bracket, especially with the upper finals on the line for both these teams. 100 Thieves, one map win away from taking that title, or at least going to that upper finals at least. And now Lizamo with a nice push back here, trying to get back onto the defense.
Yeah, I mean, there can be no mistakes made here, and right now, there hasn't been much made. Delina, though, is looking to go for that flank again. This is going to be big on Skyer. He gets the job done, taking down Skyer. Now going for the Raccoon. He was trying to get that for the BRB device. Set up for Skyer was a nice pick at the right time, and SJP bringing back Venom now. Delina, you would think he's on the other spawn, and they don't know what to do. Do they turn around or fight the 5 in front of them? It's 1 behind, 5 in front, but Delina's getting all the attention.
Somebody please stop this man. He is finding these angles and just being fully untouched. Nobody has turned around to take a look at him. And now Tara's sandwiching him from the front. Look at those resets.
That is one beautiful sandwich, as you just alluded to. I mean, great job there, allowing the distraction. And I got to say, even Jabrori played that great, was never able to, he didn't get the pick, you know, and was able to keep the BRB device up. Delina having struggled getting him, but not everybody else. And that is what you call getting pressure and playing a Vanguard role as the Goddess of Death, man. Fantastic. He did it before that on the fight with the ultimate as well, calling the attention. And that is one of the key roles, right? Get the pressure, get the attention. Doesn't matter, though. It comes down to overtime. This is the last point. They have plenty in the tank.
They do. I want to see us go to even more on this map. I want to see more between these two teams with this defense from Les Amants. It's got to be stalwart. Delina going down to smash in the side. That's a big start.
It's like, who gets the Invisible Woman support behind it? The shield is everything, and that is the synergy you look for here at the top level of play. We saw from Harvey. Now we're seeing it from Skyer here. Tara, though, trying to pick up a little bit of the 5v6. This is going to be tough for them to get things going, but they have plenty to take. Vinny now trading with Chuckle. They've got the ultimates to follow. Tara with the pick as well. Cracking impact for the last bit of defense and hold. Overtime clock halfway through. Beautiful hide there from Tara. Pushing in. Delina, Goddess of Death rain down. Trying to get that strategist. Secures the elimination on Skyer. TTK finishing up the scraps, and it is going to be 3-3 with, again, just an electric performance from both teams.
Oh, man. Exactly that is the electric performance, and we get to go to more points. The last time we got to see a map like this go the distance, it was 100 Thieves that ended up taking it, but now both teams with only a minute's time. The first compositional pull from both of them is so important. Do you think we see any changes?
Honestly, I think Vinny's going to stay on the thing. I mean, listen, there's been some sandwich play here at the Duelists, and we are eating good right now with these matchups, man. This has just been exactly what you want to see. I have casted all the MRI. I casted a lot here. This might be one of the most razor-type matches I've seen between two teams because it feels like anybody could win each team up, right? In each match.
Yeah.
That's what's so great about this. Every fight comes down to just one key pick, one key moment.
Well, now we have to take a look at what's going down. So, not any changes. We're going rinse and repeat here, at least. But it is seriously about how long it takes this first point to go down. We saw it the last time around. Both teams able to pretty handily take that one here. I think this is a little bit more difficult. But the big eye I have for Les Amants, they have to keep looks on Delina. They cannot let this guy have these flanks. And honestly, that's up to Smash.
Yeah, you don't beat Delina, you survive her barely, right? Like, that survive him barely, survive the hella. I mean, just incredible play there. And if they can get that early pick, they're going to be able to kind of snowball from there. We've seen that before on both Clintar and before. It's that key pick on one of the electric duelists, the MVPs on both teams here, as they're going to push him with aggression. Last time, though, it was Venom. This time, it's going to be the match of Vinny. So it's going to be interesting to see what we've got here, as now we've got the Magnus pushing in immediately with that aggression that we've been seeing.
See if the setup here from 100 Thieves is going to be enough to delay the inevitable from Les Amants. They've done a really good job so far. They're getting pushed back into this little arcade here yet again. And it's just Chuckles right-clicking away here on the map.
This is the MMA fight here, right into the ring, and the circle acting as such ring. Delina here look at this trade. Delina with the patience as always. There's teams just going through chaos there, and he's like, you know what? Let me just do my job and do it successfully as he gets the clutch pick on Smash. Now he's able to rain down from above. It might as well be death from above with no goddess of death as he's able to get good flanking hits. Now we're going to have Smash make his way back, protect his team, keep them up. Ultimates now. We've got the amplifier on. Here comes Kraken Impact. This is going to be really the fight. If he can get an elimination with it, which he doesn't, huge stop there from the defensive support of 100 Thieves. Smash trying to get down to Delina, but Delina getting nice poke damage. And Smash, though, with a huge trace.
He got him. He was keeping tabs. That's the thing I wanted to see from this team. Smash was just following Delina that entire time. He gets picked up by the BRB Delina, and the spite fight is now.
The cat with 9 lives goes right back and finishes the job, right? I mean, beautiful. TTK now trying to get this elimination on the Strange, trying to get rid of him. The portal's up. We saw last time when the portal went up, it actually was successful for them, but not this time. Great hold from 100 Thieves, where we have seen them struggle now a few matches in that early point.
Yeah, we have, and it came down to a lot of momentum when they were losing that, right? And those resets not necessarily being there, but I think a lot of the time bought by 100 Thieves in that one was really nice. I know Delina maybe didn't have as much impact in that first life that he would have wanted to, but just the fact that he put pressure from that backside of the fight and then kept them thinking that he was over there, I think buys a lot of that space, that mental awareness from the side of Les Aimants. Now on the other side, though, we're going to have to see this defense tried and true. 100 Thieves just going full pedal to the metal here to try to get this one. They don't need very much.
I mean, this is it, right? This is to move on. This is everything that they've been playing for here. And I've got to say, just when it comes down to a mirror match, it almost feels like 100 Thieves has what they want, right? Because they've been showing that if it's a mirror match, they're able to really produce and show it. And it's didn't start out that way with the Venom. They struggled, they swapped it up, and now they're eating good. They have what they want. And I just want to highlight how well the Invisible Woman plays here. Both Skyer and Harvey are doing things that you're not even noticing because they happen so fast, and a lot of it comes to the support of both Hellas.
That's the biggest thing, is like the spatial awareness needed to keep track of these guys is next level, but they still end up finding angles. I still want to harp on the fact that I need Smash to kind of keep tabs and body mark Delina here in these fights.
Yeah, it's tough with Delina's patience. It's like his whole team's going through this, like, you know, crazy chaos, and he's just kind of waiting for the opportune moment. Smash now with early picks there on Delina. Delina's going to have to go into this fight with health down, and it showed as he gets picked immediately. That's a tough battle to choose. The Duel of Fates did not live up to it on that one as he gets quickly eliminated, and on that uses the BRB device. Sure, they want to use that later, but the aggression is turned to the maximum. Turned up to 11. TTK going up top, trying to get space there. Smash has to hop down, but Cyber's going to follow him, and now we've got kind of the reset, but there we go. Immediately, we've got both things going at each other.
The biggest thing is that 100 Thieves, they know that Les Aimants backs against the wall here. All they need is one part of the 3 parts cap of the point, and they just want to keep as much space between 100 Thieves and this point as possible.
They're barely going to have time here. They're going to have to really perfectly portal in right now. It's not going to be enough. There's no portal activated. It's going to be a time. You got to draw.
3, 2, 3.
Is that not just perfectly echoing what we've seen so far? Like, these teams, it has come down. That might have been the closest match I've seen in Rivals and a casting standpoint.
Yeah, that was fun.
It could have gone to either team at any time, and both teams rose up to the occasion there. And really, 100 Thieves definitely squandered their opportunity to get that cap at the end, unable to get everything going in one place. But, I mean, my goodness, the draw. Was not expecting that.
I was not either, and we will remain at 2-1 there in the series score, meaning we get more games of this, which I'm more excited about now that we've actually seen this kind of fight back from Les Aimants. Again, this is a team of 100 Thieves that had not lost a single round and had not lost the map. And to see them lose against Les Aimants, this track record that Les Aimants have had in their own upper bracket run has been very nice to see. And this is one of the first times I feel like 100 Thieves are not rising to the occasion to some extent, but also it's just some really good executionary plays from Les Aimants.
Yeah, I commend them. I commend them for swapping it up, trying something a little bit different there. We saw the group ban that time around, but my goodness, I mean, it has come down. Another 70,000 healing game, by the way. I mean, What else could you want, right? We got the Invisible Woman play there was absolute peak. The strategist play, some of the best that I've seen. We've got a lot riding on this very game, but first, let's go ahead and check out the highlights. What's going on, guys? Welcome back from a electric draw. I mean, listen, man, both teams played flawlessly, matching each other blow for blow and proving why they're at the top of the game right now, right? It's not every day that you see this kind of level of perfection from both sides. And at this point, it's like, who's going to break the stalemate after that? Because that was as good as you get.
Hey, it's fitting that we had two things on the map and both were right-clicking away because these are haymakers left and right, like you say. It is still a situation that after that draw, 100 Thieves on match point to that upper finals. Les Aimants still need to win those two in a row for themselves. And there's a lot riding on this, not only to get that upper finals spot, but you don't want to get knocked down in the lower bracket, it feels like, with some of those teams lurking around down there like sharks. So I'm looking at 100 Thieves to clean things up. This is really the first time I've seen them push to their very levels here in the MRC itself by itself. And Les Aimants, they've got a big mountain to climb, but they've got the climbing tools.
Yeah, that draw was probably worse in general for Magnets because just now you've got to win two more, right? And that felt like the map to win for them. They were locked in perfectly there. You know, we've seen things go back and forth, but that was as good a play as I've seen, again, against 100 Thieves. Same song, same dance. Adam, Rocket, here we go. The Wolverine into Loki or Invisible Woman. We've got Midtown Convoy. Both teams just going through the whole map pool at this point.
All the convoy maps.
Yeah, right? You're not seeing any domination. These teams want to show it, and we're going to get triple Vanguard back, ready to go, and that's going to be crazy interesting, especially against in Midtown, because this is a good map for it.
So was the Loki Protect. That was something we talked about in the earlier series, and we got to see why they were willing to kind of protect that one, especially with Jabori's kind of angles that he had. A really massive performance on that Loki. Harvey on the other side, definitely not one to slouch at in that regard. But now, 100 Thieves' final ban. We did see the Namor ban by Les Aimants, so changing it up, the Luna Snow is going to be the same ban from 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I had a feeling that they've been banning other things, but they had to go to Luna here because of, well, for one, they don't want to fuel that engine of the triple Vanguard, and both Luna and Loki do that so well. You can't let Loki and Luna go together, like you said. It's a fate of both worlds. It's pretty much going on for a good 75% of the match, right? At this point, though, we're going to see the teams lock into just about the same roles. Got that axis. Delina does like Psylocke on this map, so we could potentially see that flex out like we just did. And what we're seeing from the offense here,
don't get baited.
Well, so the Scarlet Witch right now is being picked at the beginning just for the very quick Crimson Sword to get a little bit of that Metallic Chaos. By the way, say goodbye to this team up. Crazy is being removed, right?
I know, it's so sad. We won't get these cheese moments. No, but it is going to be interesting because you obviously expect a lot of aggression early on onto this map. You're like literally right there when you start it up, and a lot of teams are using that second level to get the advantage. As you said earlier, you know, the high ground is the good ground.
Funny enough, no triple Vanguard, though. You have the Loki open. Well, honestly, Tico could end up going into that role there. But, you know, interesting to see the lineup. There's no way Tico doesn't go into this role after what they probably wanted. I mean, that's how they pick. That's how they ban. Usually do that, you know, for your team to set up the way that you want to. But no, Tico going into Bucky. And so we do have ourselves just the 2-2-2.
Yep, and we'll see exactly how that pans out. Again, We got a little bit of variation last time around in the last map in terms of what teams were picking, but now we're back to mirror matches.
Exactly here, and good opener there from Smash, just showing that he's picking up right where he left off. Delina now going. He loves this kind of off flank here. The Namor was banned because, again, Delina plays that very well as a flank Namor. A lot of people have been enjoying that lately. Invisible Woman, little nice top off there from Harvey. Vinny's still in the high ground. They're going to want to try to get him off that and get pressure on him early. Look to Smash to be able to provide that. Smash now has the high ground, pushing down early, raining down those thorns on TTK, who's forced now to back up. And right now the pressure in the space is going completely to Mutants as Smash is going off.
Dude, he just took down Delena, sat him down in the chair and said, you know your place right now. And they get this push around. They have gotten so much distance here, Cozy.
Yeah, you know, Neil Peasants is all we've heard from White Queen, and now we've seen it a little bit from Hella as we've got Smash playing Super Smash Brothers out here, taking down Terra yet again with a beautiful pick. SKP getting that BRB on Terra to get him back in the fight. They have plenty in the combo level of setup here as Vinny is going to try to get this setup going early. Right now, TTK can do it, but the Loki runes go down. They're broken, and he does connect, taking down two crucial members of Magnets, and they're able to get a good defense here. They desperately needed. Look at how much distance to cap, man. Barely anything.
I know, it's such a strong defense, at least to give them that redemption pullback. I still think you have to always be wary of Terra's cracking impacts here throughout these games. Maybe he's had a little bit of a quiet compared to Tico in that last map, but here he is yet again making another difference. And this is the point that gets so hard to get back to the point. You have to go through like 2 different choke points to even get back to your pushing.
Yeah, 100%. And on top of that, though, Magnus has everything they need, though, to get this done. There's no defensive ultimates for 100 Thieves. They're actually far from it. And look at what's on the other side. I think Magnus should be able to win this pretty easily with how much space is given if they can just connect things. And they don't even have to. Smash is just going to do what he's been doing on this early point. And look at this. They can't even use the ultimates outside of Loki.
There he goes. He's going to go up into the sky looking for more dealing as he gets himself a triple here too. Looking for TTK and a quadra elimination there for Smash.
I mean, that was as good as you could play a second attempt on that point. Having things in the bank, not even using them all. Smash was able to, you know, just use a little Hella as a cherry on top there for the Goddess of Death. Probably didn't even need it, if we're being honest, though. We've got the early pickup, and now 100 Thieves has got to get back soon because this is a crucial choke point that they want to have. Them getting all this space right here on this corner turn, we've often seen teams struggle again. So this is massive as they're able to get through one of the harder parts of the map.
I will say 100 Thieves, they have a lot going for them. Vinny, about 3/4 of the way to his ultimate here as well, and they will have everything for their side. But Delena needs to get these picks. He needs to stay alive. He's been getting picked off by Smash over and over again, and here goes the Tia.
Yeah, absolutely why it's so important for them to keep on their ultimates. We're going to see Smash go down to Lena, getting the best move from that off angle. I don't even think Smash knew he was there. Oh my gosh, can he get the elimination? He barely misses the Loki there. So great play from Delena, throwing down Piercing Knight, getting some pressure on him, poking down those clones. And look at Delena wants it. He's like, I let you get away. Oh my goodness, but Cyborg caught him, hunting the prey. And it's the food chain out here. Cyber gets the connection, going for the Loki. Imprisonment happening. Tico going down now. No follow-up though from that imprisonment. They did get the one pick. That's probably what he wanted to finish it up. Vinny now with the aggression, throwing down the wall to damage. And just look at the closing on this Magneto. No space, no room to go. He tees it up for 100 Thieves Terra to do what he does best and tear up the enemies with the Kraken impact. 1, 2, 3, and he's going to continue to 4, and there's the quad.
Another quadra kill this time on the other side of things. A penta to top it all off, and Terra, he's back in the business of making Les Amants hurt.
Tico tried to claw him in, and I don't know if he knew. He could have known, but like he had the impact left in the bank. That's the last thing you want to do.
Apparently Terra's not a fan of magnets. I guess we can just come away with that one.
Vinny now, they have the high ground. The reset was huge. This is going to give them plenty of momentum here. Delena's going to look to probably pressure again from the backside with this Goddess of Death. We've seen him do that to create the space and the attention awareness of the team. Vinny now trying to block in the Magneto again. We're seeing now Cyber overcommits, and then he's able to block him in. He barely misses that wall there as Sky's throwing up the invisible boundary, getting the aggression, but Harvey is able to match it. Both teams now up in arms, and there comes the imprisonment. This is a lot coming at both strategists, and they're both going to go down. No, there's the quick escape, but it's not going to be enough. Even with the rest of Harvey, they're going to have to reset here, and this is going to be probably the point going to Magnus.
Chuckles with the flick of the wrist right there to get down both strategists. And really good momentum gain and the delay of the kill onto TTK as well. They will need to get this push up here. The respawns will be coming through, but they are able to get to the second point with plenty of time to spare. Deletta goes down to the back. Those flanks not working any longer against Les Aimants.
Picking up where we left off, right? Both teams just blow for blow. They're doing so well here. The stalemate's just happening. They're trading often early, and it's just patience. Are you seeing this patience, man, of just, I mean, you just highlighted it, the ultimate ability of staggering and not just waiting for everything to hit perfectly, but do your job. If you do your job, your team will win. We've seen that in sports, and it's certainly the case in esports. As Harvey now trying to keep his team alive. They have everything in the vault here.
Smash.
Will they empty it as Smash goes up? Goddess of Death, Cyborg as well with the Meteor M, having to escape. TTK has done a lot of damage, having to use that bubble. They're going to look to capitalize on that early there as Delina going for the Goddess of Death on a little bit of the off angle and causing them to push back as they reset.
They are going to get that push back as well, like you were saying there. Chuckles going to jump right back into it. Is it going to be a buying of time here? You have to think that Jabori wants to get that invisible barrier up. He did, boundary rather. He did do that. Smash looking for a backside angle now.
And look at the perfect just staggering of ultimates here. Skyer's about to have their invisible boundary. Harvey obviously getting countered with theirs. They don't have another one though. Skyer should be able to give a lot of assistance here for the finishing of the cap with this last boundary into the Kraken impact. Look for them to combo that. It's all about combos and how you can put it together. We've seen it before. Both Krakens going at the same time. Tico getting rid of Vinny, the other to no results. Smash now with the trade, and this is going to be it. They still have huge. They've got the ultimates to use here.
Terra going for resets now. He finds the one, but can't get more after that. That invisible boundary is going to be massive. He's trying to get one more pullback. Has that reset going through. Now has
oh my
time.
God. He's doing what he does bad. I mean, this was not shown right now, but the first Kraken impact he threw down when we saw Vinny go down, he must have used on a clone, and he was able to keep it. And at the very last second, he triggered it one more time. That Kraken impact lasted for like 2 minutes for Terra there, showing ultimate patience, and Terra getting the Pinta as there's 26 seconds, and this is going to be tough. Both teams now, not a lot in the arsenal here. Jabrori, though, going to open up with the invisible boundary.
This is the kind of reservation that you expect from our top teams, from our top players here in a budding esports and Marvel Rivals. You love to see this kind of comprehension of what works. And now we're getting into the thick of things. Les Aimants, they're about to have everything available for them. Can they pull the trigger?
This is going to be it. Meteor M coming down from Cyborg. He's been connecting on them often today. Not able to do so there. SJP just having a nice little perch there to throw down the healing balls as Terra now getting that poke damage, building up the ult. Kraken impact feels like it was just used, but he has it yet again. And you know who TTK is going for. It's going to be Jabrori taking him down, followed by the Kraken, followed by the Arsenal. That is 100 Thieves, and they're going to be able to put a stop here to the Magnets on a clutch 0.3 hold. I'm telling you, man, this feels like the grand freaking finals. Like, this is so tight.
I am so happy we're getting this in the upper bracket semifinals. We have so many more games to play, and both these teams leaving it all on the map here. And very, very close push from Les Aimants, but the biggest difference is not getting to that 3. Now 100 Thieves can take a solid win here. They are match point from the series win, and if they can get all 3 points here, they're off to the upper bracket finals.
Rest in peace, our voices. This is match 1, buddy. We're just getting started. This is going to be beautiful. BEA, beautiful, guys. As I got to say, regardless of what's happening, Magnets is putting themselves on the map here. Regardless of the results, they have shown tremendous performance. It's not a one-off. They have played fantastic when it means the most, right? Top 8, best teams, out of 500 plus. This is for everything here. This could be it if 100 Thieves is able to get the 3 cap.
Yeah, you think of everything. I mean, obviously a lot of big name organizations in here as well, but a lot of it comes off the back of what teams work and a lot of friendships develop through these kinds of moments. I mean, for the community, this kind of situation is so awesome to see, but also Les Aimants have been no slouches, right? Like, they just came off a 3-0 over Rad Esports over in the last round themselves, and it has been a come up of this team. It's been a performance from everybody. That's the biggest thing, and the biggest standout to me. It's not one single person that's standing out. It's this entire team of Magnets.
Nobody's carrying on either side, which is hard to prevent for 100 Thieves because we know who can carry over there. We know the story of 100 Thieves. I can't wait to continue to learn the story of who these magnets are, as we've got Smash on controller. We've got these guys. How long have they been playing together? We'll continue to find out as Cyber takes down Harvey, and this immediate aggression, the disrespect of the spawn hold was nasty there as everything came together, and we got the triple Vanguard that we thought we were going to see earlier happening right now.
That's one of those moments you're like, wait, Strange does that? And you wonder and see what could possibly be happening with Cyber having that massive pickup there. Now we see this push. It's still very hotly contested, but 100 Thieves can utilize this spawn door to get some free damage in.
Yeah, and this is where it's like, play aggressive. You know, they're playing for it all here. Vinny with a nice pick. 100 Thieves is just trying to get that one pick to give them plenty of space because of the spawn being right there, and they just got it pretty massively there. But Skyer getting the trade on Vinny. It's not over yet. And look at, we're having the Kraken Impact come out immediately from Terra to give him even more space. Smash going down to Terra, finishing off that Kraken Impact, giving that reset. He's going to now be able to snowball, and they're going to be able to push this point up way more.
Oh, no.
It hasn't pushed at all. It's pushed not at all. So
it hasn't, but it's about to. Oh, man, everybody's starting to fall down, and you still have so much available for 100 Thieves. I want to see them push up. I want to see them use these ults aggressively as well.
Yeah, they have plenty left in the tank here. Look at Cyborg. They'd love to get their spy action going on, right?
Do.
Triple Vanguard, they swapped it up. I get it. That's what they wanted in the map, but they were playing so well with the last defensive hold. They have Augmoto almost online. They've got the prison, and they're playing aggressive as we've seen them do the entire time. There comes the imprisonment, though, from Vinny instead. Shields up to protect them, and they get the opposite trade with the opposite in prison. Both Invisible Woman play is elite top tier. S-tier on a tier list as the SJP keeping his team alive. Delina getting the elimination, and at this point, it's still a fair fight, but TTK making it more one-sided as Chuckle goes down. Now Terra taking down Cyborg. At this point, yet again, there's going to have to be a reset if they want to keep them from getting this first point, because Terra is cleaning up the rest.
Terra is lethal. He's the one that finds the flank this time around, but the fight was still going the way of 100 Thieves even with that. They have plenty of time to work with this clock. Les Aimants, they've lost a little bit of their momentum going for themselves. Doesn't look like they're going to switch things up just yet. They have the IVAG motive, they have the Goddess of Death, and they have Jabori, who's no doubt going for an invisible boundary.
Absolutely here. The Agamotto is going to help plenty with this opening fight, and TTK really going to have himself dialed in perfectly to get rid of Jabrori, who's certainly going to put up the defensive hold here. But they might be able to get down Magneto early. Nope, the quick healing. That's what's so great about Loki in these triple Vanguard comps. Here's the you're going to look at the Agamotto here, but no, imprisoment's happening into the Kraken Impact, and there it is, Jabrori. You got to get TTK now to do his thing, but he's going to hold on to it, and this could be an electric hold if they're able to keep things going the way that it is. SJP just staying alive. Delina, you have plenty of ults in the arsenal for 100 Thieves, showing extreme patience here, as now we've got them all popping off at once. The Meteor, the TTK, Harvey with the cleanup, Delina with the rest, and now they should be able to get the rest of this point.
Yeah, it's been some really solid fights from 100 Thieves here, back to back. Not only after that initial, fumbling of that early push, but now afterwards, it has been clinical from this team. And we've been wondering when they're going to show their truly dominant face again. This map might just be it.
Yeah, look at Jabrori and Skyer, though. They got both those ults off, and they used them at the end. That is going to give 100 Thieves every bit of momentum through the second point. This should be an easy cap point for 100 Thieves, or at least getting through this cave part here, because they used that Invisible Woman for the last bit of desperation potentially on that first point. I get it. Might as well try to hold them to the one, but now they're going to have to build up that ultimate. If I'm 100 Thieves, you want to play lights out aggressive here as they're moving in slowly. You've got plenty in the arsenal there for the combo play. The Augmento's still there. Tico getting a huge snipe as Magneto does play the duelist role in the triple Vanguard of Poke, and what he's able to do. The RB device getting them back into the fight here. Only 2 minutes, but Delina cannot get going. Sniped again.
He just sat him down again. I don't know how many chairs they got over there, but they gotta get some more. Smash is finding these angles on Delina, and Delina was unsuspecting there. 100 Thieves will be rebuffed off that push, and now this double choke point is so difficult to push back onto, but they're gonna try.
If your business card says Goddess of Death, you got to live up to it, right? Okay, and we've seen that from the Hella today. Now we've got a huge potential pick there from Terra, unable to finish, but he does get the headshot to close down Chuckle. He's got the Kraken Impact. He's looking to pop it here. The rune, he's keeping track of those Loki runes. So now he has every bit of angle of protection. The invisible boundary going up. Here comes the Meteor. Kraken Impact to avoid it. No, he goes right into it and takes the The full force of the purple meteor into the chest. Huge.
That feels so bad. Instant impact, and that's going to be a massive one. Tico gets another KO to finish it off as well. And 100 Thieves will be pushed off the point again. We're starting to worry here. About a minute and 10 seconds to get this. You're halfway through this phase. You've got to have some solid pushes now or never.
Now the inverse too. All those ultimates I just talked about earlier is now in favor of mutants. They've got all the firepower. They didn't use much except the purple ball to take down the biggest threat that has been Terra. Agamotto ready, and you can tell Cyber is just chopping at the bit to throw it down, get the combo set up, and get it going as DeBroy pushing back and Tad. We've got the up imprisonment from the high ground. Channeling in is Obi-Wan as they're able to protect it, and they had to use a clutch support ability in Harvey, and that is the only one they have. So they're going to hope that was enough to get them through what is only 32 seconds left. Can Mutants yet again get the win and make it 2-2 as Cyborg still has Yagamoto playing the ultimate game of patience as your kindergarten teacher taught you. He's now chasing. He's on the hunt. He's going for the supports. He's going to just use a single Agamotto potentially as we all head over now to Delina. Delina trying to get the off-link. Delina having the goddess of death pops up to avoid the Agamotto, throwing down the crows of Green God and trying to get his picks going as Smash goes down. Terra trying to get a piece of the pie. Can he finish it out? Kraken impact. Resets are there. He's able to snowball from there. And there we go. They're able to at least get this thing going a little bit more.
All right, we're in overtime, though, so this is going to be dicey. You got to stay on the point as fast as possible. Obviously, you still have some time to tick down with that overtime, but you still have a lot of pushing to get that extra time. And even then, when you get to the third phase, you're not going to have that much extra time to get those big pushes around those hard to turn corners in that third section here on this map. 100 Thieves, they're being pushed to the brink by Les Amours, and I have to say there's a lot of pride on the line for Les Amours to be able to take them down and push them to 5 maps. Here we go.
And support ults are going up now, and you're able to have DeBroy have the pressure. Harvey's looking to build his up as fast as possible. If he can't do it, this team is surely going to fall right here, right now. But Benny takes down Skyer in that, which was massive. Benny potentially thinking that he could put the team on his back with that elimination, and they push him off. It's 2-2.
Let's go! We got a series pushing 100 Thieves to the brink, and they deny them on this map. Maybe that draw drew out this series for Les Amours, but they are using it to their advantage. What a game. Skyer, the MVP here, but my God, this whole team is just functioning so well together.
From the true depths they rise, man. I mean, that was absolute lights out. Great hold on the last map. That one support ult made all the difference in the world. No 70k healing this time, but plenty of great play. And again, these teams are just two of the best at it right now that I have seen. I've got to put so much respect on Magnets because it's not even looking like a huge off day from 100 Thieves. They look like they're playing well. It's just that things are not falling all together there, and they just ran out of time there. I mean, truly, that was the big difference. You know, they had that great momentum win, and then, as you said, overtime, they had to keep that momentum. That's so hard to do when you're just at the beginning of point 2.
The biggest thing is the adaptation in this series. We've got a lot of games, especially because of that draw, but it started out as mirror comps. Then we started seeing last minute swaps were the big difference maker in a lot of them. And now we're starting to see that this triple Vanguard composition from Les Amours is working into 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, what's great too is we're going through the map pool like crazy and we're running out. So who knows what we're about to go into? Could it be our first bit of Dom? We're going to have to see. But first, let's relive the madness of Midtown with the highlights. What's going on, guys? Welcome back. This is like the best thing we have seen in competitive play right now with these two teams. It's like better than an MCU movie right now. Just Everybody is just bringing everything they got in these fights. And we've seen time and time again that it's been this Delina and Terra show, but Smash and Tico have been rising up to the occasion on the duelist front. But can I just highlight something? There was 20,000 damage blocked from an Invisible Woman in that match. Have you seen anything like that before?
No, not at all. And we got the MVP, rightfully so, for it. But I think in the way that the little things matter so much in this series, we've seen it come down to those like kind of microsecond decision-making moments, and especially the dueling going on in kind of the side pan of a lot of these fights, and still seeing a lot of our strategists being able to kind of get that support over there. And I'm really questioning what we're going to get in this last one, or at least in terms of who's going to move forward into that upper final, because there's a lot riding on the line, not only for 100 Thieves to remain a little bit of pride, but also trying to get into Les Aimants making the run.
This is when I go from caster to fan. I have not seen 100 Thieves lose yet.
I know.
This could be it. This could be the first loss we're watching here, and it could happen at the biggest stakes, the MRC. I want to remind you guys, the winner of the last Marvel Rival Championship was Mutants, who is now 100 Thieves. This would be their first time ever in a loser's bracket. That is what is on the line, and it comes down to domination of all maps. Woo! We have gone through the pool. There was the Burden T'Challa of the other map they could have picked in Wakanda, but no, these teams want to go and look for the first bit of the fight. The first person to get that point is able to steamroll from there. Loki ban coming out immediately, though. Yeah. No triple Vanguard. They don't want to deal with it.
They do not want to mess with that at all. I like the continuation of some of these bans. The Groot is going to be the protect as well from Les Aimants to try to keep that separation as well. And now you have to think the Rocket Raccoon. It is right there. So we're going to have that BRB set up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Delina loves to play Namor here, so I can expect a lot of Namor potentially. I'm gonna wonder if they ban that here, because they've got to know their homework by now. It could be Ella maybe, but I think they let the Hela stay, and they're gonna go with the Namor ban here potentially. They do have Luna up for grabs, which is nice too, and I think they're gonna allow that. They definitely want to have Luna if they want to play with the style that they have been here. And they're thinking about it. This is not an easy decision, as we have seen previously. They know what's on the line. It is Hela, which I think honestly Delina's fine with.
Yeah, hey, I'll take the Namor on this matchup, and immediately going for it with the combination of the Luna Snow makes Namor very, very strong. And I am very much wanting to see Delina be the guy that grabs this series and takes it forward, right? And try to be that kind of clinching factor for them.
I'm going to be honest. I've seen a lot of 100 Thieves play. Even before that, a lot of Mutants. They wanted exactly this. A lot of the game is won in the pick and ban phase. They now have access to, first of all, you've got the Punisher play. Hold on now. But with that, the combination, look for the quick Luna ult that swaps to purple. That's the damage boost to the Namor Moby Dick into the Vinny prison. That's what they do all the time. We have seen them just laugh at teams with that combo. Not seen Magnets with this. So they have to match the Namor play. It's too good of a combo to pass up. So if it comes to experience right now, Edge for me is going to 100 Thieves. But I mean, what do I know after Magnet's performance so far?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Is like we came in with such different expectations. We came in with an expectation of dominance from 100 Thieves, even if Les Aimants' run in the upper bracket has been almost just as dominant as 100 Thieves. It is still a factor where we expect 100 Thieves at that next level, and we are seeing a punch back. We're seeing gods bleed here a little bit in Marvel Rivals, and it is going to be a setup where Les Aimants have a very different comp. There's a tried and true strategy that 100 Thieves are approaching with. The question is, does it work?
And Terra on Punisher, love to change again. A lot of pressure on that Groot like they want to do here. As now we're able to have the teams clash in the high ground. We often see this as both the Namor squids are going down quick, but able to pump a lot of damage out as the healers are able to burn through their cooldowns quickly to keep their team up. And that's exactly what you're looking to do if you're 100 Thieves on the aggression there. Now it's going to look who can get the first flank kill, as we have up top there. The Namor Tico is trying to go, and we have not had Tico versus Delina. That's the matchup right now. It's not Smash right now. It's going to be Tico as Terra with the infinite ammo just raining down the bull. bullets. And hey, how about some more in turret form, as he is going to be a huge distraction, and they have to pay attention. And they're not, as he's just dumping him down on Chuckle. The tree is eating up the metal. Delina capitalizing as well on Jabrori, and this first point is going to go to 100 Thieves, most likely. And I'm telling you, whoever gets this first point, the win percentage has got to be over like 70% on first cap because of ultimate charge.
We got our answer. 100 Thieves, they had a tried and true strategy. It did work. And I think the way that they separated that fight, Delena, first of all, taking kind of that low angle into the top angle, but more so importantly, I feel like getting to see Terra work on this Punisher. He tried to swip to it earlier in the series in that first setup, but it didn't work out there. It's working here.
Yeah, for sure. Yggdrasil's path, he didn't get much from it, but there, the turret, my goodness, what could you do? And they won the high ground. If they didn't win that, that strategy wasn't going to work. They kind of put everything into that bag, and they got it paid out in full from the bank. That is Marvel Rivals Championship. Delina now trying to go for that awkward flank. Great little upper ramp to do so. Getting himself some protection. Look at him rain down here on Smash. Punishing this Winter Soldier. Love the flexibility. Look at the whale out of nowhere. No combo needed. And it connects. And it gets rid of Sue Storm just like that.
They're able to get that separation there of the two. I think it was going down in style there, but Smash is still up. He still has some great tools and ultimates available for Les Aimants.
Yeah, we are actually seeing Luna with Punisher instead of the Namor combination. That is why Delina was able to use that so freely. And this is something we haven't seen before, and I don't think that the Magnets have either, which is showing right here as they struggle a bit against this matchup. Smash going down with the Kraken impact so far, unable to get that elimination to re-trigger. Delina now going for that side flank, gets the connection. We said, will he be the difference maker? He shines in domination, and he is going wild with the Tritons. Call him King of the Sea.
Those Tridents are heat-seeking. Delena steps up to the plate, knocks it out of the park. Those are the kinds of step-up moments you expect from our clutch players, from our best of the best. And 100 Thieves are here to get things right.
And not just that, they won through ultimates. You can see that Magnus had to use what they had in the bank as well, as Delina timing out it perfectly for the portal play. Oh my goodness, the instant delete key is shown on Chuckle, who has played great as Groot. But when you've got all these bullets pumping into you from the Punisher, what are you going to do? Look at Terra. He's got an absolute perfect accuracy. Terra now said, okay, Delina, enough from you. I want a little bit of my time in the limelight here. And he just gets it all. A quad to finish.
That is the domination I expect from 100 Thieves on domination of all things. As you said, the first map is definitely a tell of what can come. And Les Aimants, their backs against the wall now. Again, a lot of pride, not only in making it to that upper bracket finals, but beating 100 Thieves for the first time would be a story moment for them. And now they need to find a way to pull it out.
Either way, it is a story moment, but 100 Thieves playing lights out here on domination. We actually saw them struggle in the MRI against FlyQuest a little bit on domination, but funny enough, but they're locked in here. And man, do I love, I did not see 1 ounce of Punisher play from Terra. And I feel like they found what has been a good counter here to the way that Magnus likes to play. And combine that with who I knew Delina was hoping isn't banned, and that's the Namor pick, and they'd happily mirror match that. And they're eating good right now, and it's going to come down again. Look for this first fight, first point. And right now, the advantage ultimate-wise is 100 Thieves.
I think Les Aimants will definitely look back towards that Hela ban with maybe a little bit of a side eye, but we'll see if that actually is the case, and maybe Hela was just that prio ban. But we get into the fighting right out here, and Terra going to have a bit of advantage here on this Punisher.
Yeah, we're going to see if they can use any of these ultimates. They could probably use the amplifier if they want to get that extra edge without diving in deep into the ultimates that they're going to need here. SJP, first time of the tournament getting that we've seen from this match, getting access to Luna, which he plays so well we've seen in the past. Now we've got them both going into the point, collapsing it. 100 Thieves first to touch, first to cap. And at this point, this is going to be extremely tough. It's not always the first cap, it is the first fold of the cards. But right now, 100 Thieves looks like they have a royal flush.
They do indeed. They must have been hiding some cards somewhere because they have pulled them all out here in this setup. Tico trying to find a little bit of an entrance, but here comes the dancing on the point.
Oh my gosh, this Punisher just raining it in. And with the damage amplifier, do you understand how much DPS a second that is to avoid? It doesn't matter if you have 8 strategists. That is a lot of damage to deal with from Terra at the helm. But they were able to survive. Wanting to go in their arsenal here with the counter ultimates that they can throw up. Look for the Kraken impact immediately. Namor able to escape big there for Delina. Throwing the whale down, not getting any connection. Smash now, taking out Delina. Smash now is going to roll out the rest. And Smash and team is going to be able to get this point cap back. And this is the rare instance where they could easily keep on to this, with Skyer even wanting a piece of the pie, taking down Harvey.
That's a full ace going down as well from Les Aimants. And this one not going to be as dominant as that first one was. Really nice counter push from Les Aimants, and they will still have that Horn of Proteus there for Tico to find an angle. That wall is going to come down, make the setup a little bit harder to get to, but here comes the counter push right now onto Les Aimants' point.
Yeah, we got to name that whale at some point. We're going to name it something good, like Eric or something great. We're just always going to go, exactly. All right, here we go, guys. Going into what could be the last stand for Magnets, playing their best. We open up with the prison right away, and it is putting them into jail with no key to get out, as they're able to completely take them down with almost minimal effort there. An opening from Vinny, and the rest collapse. They take this point right back.
This series was a banger, but it might just go out on a little bit of a whimper here. 100 Thieves have just risen to the task across the board. I gotta say, though, Delina has been a monster on this Namor, and there was a reason why it was banned in the last map, but now here they chose that Hela, and he's making them pay for it. Really love this double duelist setup from 100 Thieves in the Namor and this Punisher. It's just so hard to get into, and you have so many angles with the turret as Terra.
Absolutely, here at 69, now 70% of the point, taking down 100 Thieves. They've got the Punisher ready to roll. They're pushing it out right away. SJP to join with the Luna ult probably quickly after, as now they're having to put plenty of pressure. But bam, the quick charge up at the Meteor, and the counter from Cyber with the double shot. That's what you like to see. You see it in ranked play. You see it here in the Marvel Rival Championship. Cyber with clutch in the jeans there, keeping his team afloat and alive. There, though, raining down the damage. There's the whale with the damage boost, unable to connect. Oftentimes getting at least one elimination. Not this time. Here goes the Vinny with the Brisman as well. And they're just throwing everything at the Magnets, but unable to get the elimination. Strategist play at an all-time high, as we've seen from both these teams the entire time they've matched up. And they're making the difference. Taking down Truckle. Can TTK make a big connection? Yes, sir, he does. Taking down DeBrory. This could be the end. This could be the swan song from 100 Thieves to the Magnets. They gave the best fight against them so far, but will it be enough? Folks, we have the last bit from Tico, trying to stay alive, trying to stall the bubble up on the point. Eliminated. You give 100 Thieves an inch, they will take the entire map and the series as we close out what has been a phenomenal upper bracket.
6 maps and still 100 Thieves undefeated, moving on to that upper bracket finals. Les Aimants should be immensely proud of what was put on the table here today, and anybody in that lower bracket is going to be terrified. But speaking of Terra, gets the MVP, a massive swap to the Punisher to finish off Les Aimants in this series. They will end up taking this 3-2 in favor of 100 Thieves.
I mean, that was Marvel Infinity War, and everyone brought out the signature move throughout that entire match, right, man? I mean, I've got to say, truly, that might have been the best matchup I've seen between two teams at this level of play right now. And they have not been knocked down. 100 Thieves, they have come close. But yes, as you've alluded to, as much as I want to praise 100 Thieves right now for sticking it in and winning it, my gosh, okay, Magnus,
yeah.
I'll be adding you on social media. I want to get some player interviews. I want to know who you guys are, because you came and you showed it today with that level of play. Congratulations on a valiant effort, but 100 Thieves going to advance. They're going down to the lower. And again, if I'm the team in the lower bracket, I'm looking at them. I'm like, I don't want to play the Magnets, because they played lights out.
They absolutely did. I think it came off the back of some really unique things, right? Not unique in general of what we're seeing in totality of the meta, but bringing out the 3 Vanguard comp against 100 Thieves, having that angle to it and having success in that felt really good. And we'll now have this separation, maybe a chance at redemption later on in the grand finals if they can make the run.
Hey guys, listen, it's been 3 hours. We got a lot more on the table from that matchup.
The first series.
I know, right, man? Let's go ahead. Let's relive it. We got another match coming up. Don't go anywhere. Let's check out the highlights.